you guys hear me? Hey, Star Fam. How are y'all doing? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm having internet issues. It's my whole building. So if I like freeze or go in and out, if the audio is down, please just let me know. Moderators, look out for that as well. And just hit me up on Instagram because for some reason, internet is fine on my phone, but for my computer, it's just, and my TV is just not working properly. So please let me know if anything is like different because I'm having issues. The signal is saying that it's strong right now, but we will see. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I've missed you. You know, your girl is booked and busy. LA life. It is only getting busier. So what I'm going to do is please just watch my channel. And when something pops up, just go for it. Because whenever I just have space in my day, or if I like suddenly get a day off, I'm just going to do a live and I can't like plan it out. I'm going to try my best, but life is just not going that way. So I'm having to adapt. I am having to adapt. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's get into the intro and then we'll chit and chat. Did I spray? Did I spray? I don't remember. I don't remember spraying. Woo! There it is. Come on in the room. Oh, come on. The baby is up, so we're good. Come on in the room. Not my baby, my neighbor's baby. We got so much to talk about, so won't you come on in the room? Everybody, hey, come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about, so won't you come on in, please. Come on. Hallelujah. I got to get back in church. Anyway, how are we all doing? Let me tell y'all something. The devil is a liar, right? So my really good friend, she just became an apartment manager of like this beautiful, trendy, like Hollywood, uber celebrity apartment complex, right? Like she runs the whole thing and then she's running another thing. So she's like, you know, she's doing it. She's doing it big. And she invited me and my family over to just come look at the property or whatever. But I felt like it was a setup, right? And this is why I feel like it was a setup. Because there's no way that you go and look at that property and you don't fall in love, right? So we're looking at the property. We're seeing everything. And I'm telling you, since I looked at that apartment, everything in my apartment complex and my apartment has been like getting on my nerves. Today, it's the internet. Yesterday, it was the elevators. The day before was the parking. Now I'm noticing issues in my apartment that I've never noticed before, or I've noticed and they haven't gotten on my nerves. And I'm like, this is why I don't go apartment window shopping. This is why, because every time I go apartment window shopping, I end up moving. The internet being a mess today did not help. Did not help. Did not help. And I'm like, oh my God, am I moving again? I'm such a move hoe. I don't know why I do that. I'm such a moving hoe. I don't know what is up with me. How are y'all doing? Absolutely a strawberry pound cake. 'Tis the season to smell like a bakery. A pastry shop, more or less. Oh, why can't you see it? Why can't you see it? Please do not look at my manicure. I did that on my own. I got this cute little gel manicure set and I was just like, oh, I could just do my own nails. No, I can't. No, I can't. I'm just going to have to pay $90. $90 every 3 weeks to get my nails done. This is the devil. When did it become $90? But I just have to do it. And I think I'm about to jump on the Russian manicure wave because I saw somebody who got their nails done at this Russian manicure place that I've been following since the beginning of the pandemic. And her nails look good. And they were like a month old. So who knows? I'm about to be paying $200 for nails. I got to book a national commercial. I got to. Hey, Shonda, how are you? Hey, Baca. Baca said, can't wait for Real Housewives of Atlanta to start up next. So far, the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Miami have been really good. I don't know. Jersey, I'm exhausted. Like, Jersey is exhausting. And I feel like I probably could have handled Jersey better and like before 2020. Jersey now, I'm like, I need, y'all got to do something different. Y'all got to do something different. I'm already sick of Jersey, and we are on episode 2. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy said, well, I'm blessed to be catching alive. Hey, Star family. Hey. Yeah, guys, just watch my page. Watch my Instagram too. I just don't have a set schedule, and I can't. I feel like every time I tell you I can do a live, I can't. So I'm not going to say anything, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it at random times because I just do not have the time to do Love After Lockup like I was doing it before when I was in Atlanta, because I was, on the East Coast and I was able to do it a bit earlier. Now I just cannot do it. So Love After Lockup, I apologize for my East Coast people, but I am going to continue to re-up reviewing Love After Lockup on Friday nights after the episode, and it's going to be on West Coast time. I apologize, but if I don't do Love After Lockup on Friday, I'm just never going to be able to get to it until the middle of the next week. And it's just so much stuff happening with that franchise. I just can't do it. So we're back to Fridays. I apologize, East Coast people. That'll be like 1 a.m. for you. I'm sorry, but that's the only time I can do that. Jamie says, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Love and Marriage DC, and Vanderpump Rules have had strong premieres. Let's talk about Vanderpump real quick, and then we'll get into the review. I was watching Vanderpump Rules while I was getting ready today. And to be honest with you, I think it's time to wrap it up. These people are like mid-40s, pushing 50. Well, Jax isn't on there anymore. But I'm just like, y'all got to do better. Like, and I feel like they're also like faking being this like toe up. You know what I mean? Because when they was in their early 20s, just moving out to LA, trying to be actors and getting, trapped in this reality TV show life, I could believe it. Now these people are like millionaires, right? And I just don't believe, child, forgive me. I just don't believe that y'all this toe up. I feel like y'all playing toe up. And I'm just like, you playing toe up at 47? Like, we got to do better. We have got to do better. I feel like this show can show their growth or do something else. I've been saying for years that Vanderpump Rules just needs to go with a younger and newer cast and get the older ones off of there. Here is why. We have watched the older ones just grow up and do different things in their lives. And now it's like you just can't, especially with like TMZ, watching their every move, you just can't fake Poe no more, right? You can't be telling us that you are struggling and you're having all these issues when you have a freaking $3 million mansion in West Hollywood. Like, you in WeHo telling me you broke. Like, it's just not believable. What I have been suggesting for years, and Bravo always takes my ideas, but y'all still have yet to take this one. I don't know. This is one of the smartest ideas I've had, where you start a new show and call it Tom Tom, right? Have Lisa, who's an investor, just check in every now and again, because no shade, mother is getting up there. She can't handle the stress of these reality TV shows no more. Let her pop in from time to time, say something really crass in her British accent, and then leave, right? But let Tom Tom, have their little spinoff where they are now Lisa Vanderpump, and they are over younger Hollywood people who are just like them, 20 or something years ago. And now they're mentoring them. And we see them be the wise older guys, the Lisa Vanderpump, pouring into these kids, trying to direct them. Because I feel like Tom Tom is a really good restaurant. It's doing really well. They have another one, I think it's called Tom and Swartz. Tom and Swartz. I actually went there when I went to the premiere of the opening of House of Berry, which is literally right next door to Tom and Swartz, which is a really cool restaurant with great food and a great staff. The staff is so interesting. I'm like, why are we not doing a show, Bravo? Why are we not doing a show with either Tom Tom or Tom and Swartz, or doing both of those locations and filming 2 different shows where you can introduce younger and more diverse people into the Bravo community. Like, why you got these 47-year-olds slumming it on this TV show fighting with somebody who's 19? It's not adding up. It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And they also just look sad because they're still doing the same thing. And I'm starting to think that they're not this insufferable. I'm starting to think that it's the show like telling them to act this way. But I feel like you can get away with that stuff at 22. When you 42, and up, people are looking at you like, this is sad. And that's how I'm watching it. I'm like, this is really sad. Lala has been a disappointment for years. We all thought she was going to come in to be somebody different. I can't get with Vanderpump Rules. I can't. They got to grow up. Literally. They have got to grow up and give us something else. It's the same old. And coming from these, middle age, almost elderly people, like, no, we got to do better. We got to do better. That's my Vanderpump rant. Black Lavender said, Monique is Basura trying to sneak in Derek's room and look to see what he's hiding. I'm telling you guys, I have a theory. I feel like Monique and Derek's scenes are current. I feel like they're current. I feel like this show, while the show was playing out, Monique and Derek became the stars out of nowhere, and they did not imagine that. And because of that, I feel like the show went back and made Derek and Monique, after they broke up, get back together and start filming scenes, and then added them to the new season of Life After Lockup. That's what I'm thinking, because the storyline is so all over the place. We were seeing the sisters every episode, to now we're not seeing them. And then Derek's sister is on live telling all the behind the scenes tea about the show. Some stuff I don't believe, but I really feel like a lot of their scenes are just later, and they're trying to make issues now where there wasn't one before, because there wasn't much to film, because that relationship fizzled out pretty early. That's my theory. Hey, Nissy, how are you? How are you? All I will say about tomorrow is that I do have a break. I just don't know when and what I can do, but I do plan on going live. I just don't know what time. TVs, what's up? Said, yay, so happy I logged on when you happen to be live. Thank you for being here. Come on in the freaking room. What's up, all day finesse? How we doing? Glad I caught this joint. I know that's right. Oh, happy Black History Month. And happy day after Valentine's Day. Wait, this is, Steak and BJ Day. I was actually going to do a live yesterday, but I was like, they're probably getting their back blown out. Like, they're not trying to sit on live and listen to me. Okay, well, their man got them twisted up like a pretzel. So I was just like, I'll wait till today. Thank you, Shonda. Shonda was like, please like the video and subscribe to get Nikki to 16K subscribers. We can do it. Audrey L said, has Nikki recapped the Super Bowl yet? I hope she starts with the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Real Housewives of Potomac first. There wasn't a new episode of Potomac because of the Super Bowl. So there was no new episodes this week. New Jersey is the only new thing. But there was no new episodes. And guys, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm absolutely not talking about the Super Bowl. I just stopped crying. Oh, my family was hurt. We were hurt. Andy Reid, I love Andy Reid, but that was y'all didn't win that authentically. That was a bad call. But shout out to the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. We are very proud of you guys. You did an amazing job, and we'll be back next year. We had a feast. We had this whole big Super Bowl party because everybody just knew that we were winning. Yikes. Yeah. Salty. Hey, Missy. Missy said, every time I spray strawberry pound cake, I spray a little extra so you would be proud, Nikki. I know that's right. What's up, Elise? So glad to see you too. Hey, it's Latasha. Said, right, I just paid $125 for nails and a pedicure. And I'm like, since when? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Guys, everything is just too expensive. Everything is just, I remember I used to go to the grocery store and $200 used to have me set. Now, I'm dropping like close to $500 for some damn groceries. This is ridiculous. the last time I went to the grocery store, I did self-checkout and I was like, oh, now I know how people steal. Because, girl, I thought about it. When I got to that total, I was like, ow, I don't need half of this, to be quite honest with you. It's ridiculous. Groceries are extra. Like, we thought the gas was a lot. Now I'm resorting to doing my own now. Look at this. Look at this. A mess. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. $200 for some damn nails. I gotta do gel though. I gotta stop doing gel, but the regular nail polish don't last long. I don't know what to do. Can you surgically just remove your finger? Forget it. Oh, press on. I might try some press ons. We got to do something, JMT. We got to do something because I'm still hot about the Real Housewives of New York. They ain't never did numbers like this for them to be disrespecting them and putting them on pause and cutting the show and all of that stuff. Jersey has never outperformed New York. So why the hell is New York on pause and not Jersey? And the OC, like, I don't understand. Andy got to talk to me personally because I don't know what happened with New York. Whatever they did to New York, foul. Hey, Spency, thank you for being here. Let me get two more and then we can get into it. NC said, oh, I just saw another one, maybe four. NC said, I gave up on Jersey. I can't take another season of Melissa and Joe playing victim and going out of their way to vilify Teresa. It's literally been 10 years, same story, period. It's enough. It's enough. Donna said, don't get me wrong. I still love the mess. I still love the mess. You don't like Sandoval is my favorite. What'd he do? Because I haven't watched the show in years. What'd he do? Because I met both Toms at their restaurant. And they are so sweet. Like, guys, everybody loves them. They are so sweet. Like, they are really, really nice guys. So I don't think they're playing nice guys on the show. They are really, like, you want to hang out with them. They are really sweet guys. Jasmine says, so surprised the same cast is on Vanderpump Rules. It's been years. They're too old. They're too old. Oh, they are. Okay, Jimmy said Vanderpump Rules new season is filming the problems of opening Swartz and Sandy's. I just think they need their own spinoff. I don't think it needs to be Vanderpump Rules. Girl, I'm like behind 6 seasons. I haven't watched that show in years. You know what I mean, Donna. I don't mean like, old folks home, but I feel like at a certain age, like when you were in your 40s, right? You're looking at 50. Half a century. That's when it's like, come on. I'm not saying you should have everything together, especially millennials. Like, there's just nothing for us, right? Thanks, boomers. But what I'm just saying is just like, we should not be seeing the same storyline when you are approaching a certain season of your life. We should have grown at some point in this storyline. And I feel like they're playing, not evolving. I feel like they have evolved, but they're playing like they haven't. And I'm like, you guys are getting too old for this. At your big age, we need to do better. I'm saying they're approaching elderly statehood, if that makes any sense. And they just need to do better. Elderly is not a strike. It's not. Elderly is not a strike, especially if you live in Hollywood. Baby, you'd be blessed to make it to your golden years out here. But that's not a strike. Just want to clarify that. Jasmine said, I think Jennifer from Basketball Wives would be a good housewife. Just a thought. We need some newbies. Everybody has been saying that, and I don't see it. I don't see it. Please enlighten me. I do not see it. Give Me Shelter said, I'm late. Hey, Nikki and Star fam. What's up? You're not late. You're right on time. Isn't it? I thought it was Steak and BJ Day. I know I'm right about that one. Hey, Naya. Naya said, I volunteer as true. The way you guys are talking about that man, that Southern Christian man in a committed relationship with a sister. Listen, we're going to let this one ride. Break up them other relationships, not this one. We need this one to be successful. Sierra said, hey, Nikki, did you see they're rebooting Barney? LOL, random. They need to. They need to, because, and they can't reboot Barney with the same guy, because the guy that used to play Barney. Hey, Audrey said, oh, someone was playing. I was talking about Miss Fenty. Oh, she did good. Rihanna did a good job. Rihanna did a really, really good job. When I saw that she was pregnant, I was just like, okay. I'm not asking her for nothing else. Rihanna is a mom. She's a billionaire. She's a businesswoman. The singing, that's what started her off. She's done. I feel like we just need to just wrap it up, because when she was whining back, and I was like, wait a minute. What's going on with the belly? What's happening? And then she patted her stomach, and I was like, okay, so that's it. And that's okay. That's okay. I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, I feel like we all were expecting, everybody's expecting all the pop stars and the singers and just all of the women performers to be Beyonce. Everybody's not Beyonce. Rihanna said, I did what I did. I got my coin. I'm good. I don't blame her. She's been performing since she was 9. I get it. Drewski said, all while all the stores are having record profits, I haven't stolen, but I understand and wishing everyone who needs to do that. Listen, I thought about it, but the only reason why I don't do crime is because I know I'm going to get caught, and I know I'm going to be the one that the Lord makes an example out of. So I'm like, I'm just going to do right. That's the only thing from stopping me from a life of crime. I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get caught. So I just live vicariously through all the scammers in my family, because I just know it'll never work for me. Shauna said, Nikki, don't be like that councilman that got arrested for It used to be so easy to steal from Walmart, I heard. Now they're not playing with y'all. Spitzy said, girl, my press-on nails extensions, press nails extensions are $165. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No. And I love Beyonce. I'm getting frustrated. I am getting frustrated. I have gotten to the point where I'm harassing her band, because I went to church. Like, I grew up with like the majority of the people on her band, like, from the musical director on down. And before, I used to hit them up for Beyonce tickets, and it worked when Beyonce was coming out with a concert and an album, like, more, currently, and like back to back. Now that it has been so long, and, she's done so much, and Renaissance is like such a life-changing album, they like, Nikki, it might not happen. So I'm doing whatever I can. I'm calling in all my favors, and I never call in favors. And that's what I'm using. I'm like talking to my friends. I'm like, I never ask for anything. Because I'm not giving Ticketmaster $1,000 for fees. Ridiculous. Because at my big age, I'm not sitting in no bleachers. I have to be like this close to Beyonce. This close, okay? When she walked by me, she said, hey, Nikki, what's up, B? We can hear each other. That's how close I need to be. I'm too grown to be sitting always back there yelling at some screen. The devil is a liar. Not with Beyonce. So I need to be where the family is sitting. That's right. I need VIP family tickets, and I'm not paying $1,000 in service fees to Ticketmaster. They can choke. I refuse to give them that. When I looked up my tickets for Philly, absolutely not. That's a portion of rent. Absolutely not. Nope. I have them, Jazzy Boo. I'ma try. Listen, I looked at Canada too. I might be in Canada or Poland. This is insane. Ticketmaster is ridiculous. I hope that the Bayhide and the Swifties take them down. I was like, $1,000. Is that just one ticket? Oh no, that's fees. Get the hell out of here. In a recession? No way. No way. I'm calling in favors. I'm calling in favors. I'm this close. I'm this close to tapping into my Mama Tina contact. I'm this close, and I never tap into my contacts like this, but I'm this close. I'm this close. I'm tired. I'm tired. I absolutely will. Because if I do end up going to Canada, I'm just going to make a trip of it because I've never been there. Why not? Why not? Anyway, let's get started. We've caught up long enough. We've caught up long enough. Let's talk about it. Since we were talking about it, let's talk about Jersey. Let's get into Jersey. First of all, right off grip, let's talk about the new girls. I have thoughts. Let's start with Rachel. Rachel, I can't find a better photo of you, a better cast photo. I've looked. I can't find it. Rachel. The jury is still out for me about Rachel. I'm not sure. I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know. We're only 2 episodes in, and it's still pretty early, but I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's like trying to get in with Melissa and Margaret and like intentionally, being snide to Jennifer and then saying stuff about Teresa, because she's been saying stuff about Teresa in the press. So I'm like, maybe those two didn't work out because she said that Teresa didn't give her a chance. And so I don't know. I don't know if it's because she's already siding with Melissa or whatever. It doesn't matter, but I'm just like, I just don't know enough about her yet. And I feel like so far she hasn't given me much personality. So I can't really be like, oh yeah, I want to see more. I'm not there yet. I just need, I watch the season to see where I'm at after that. But as of right now, I'm like, I don't know. I still have yet to see what made the casting department for this show say, yes, bring her to set, right? I'm still looking for that. I haven't seen it yet. But Rachel, she has a great story. She has a cute husband who seemed like he used to be a thick boy. Don't he give thick boy? He gives me, I just dropped this weight in my 30s because I feel like he used to be a thick boy. He carried himself like he was a big boy. I get that from him. But she's also, a mom, and she's a stepmom to a teenager, 15-year-old teenager named Jaden. I said all that to get here. Because I was like, Jaden. I need to see the ex. I need to see the ex-wife. Because if this is the road we're going down, Jersey, let's do it. Let's do it. But the jury is still out on Rachel for me. Now, this one, I liked her. I like Danielle, though. I like her more for Mob Wives. Here's why. I have gotten to the point where I am over Jersey not serving wealth. I feel like Jennifer Aiden is the only one who like constantly gives us wealth every episode or every season. And Teresa too, but we found out that a lot of that was like scam money. But still, when she was doing it big, she was doing it big. I feel like nobody else really gives us that. Excuse me. Like everybody shops at these boutiques that are making knockoffs. And I know for some that may be the Jersey way, but I am telling you, as someone who grew up in Philly and also lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey for years, Jersey has wealth. Jersey has diverse wealth. I don't know why we have yet to see it on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I feel like this show has become so fixated on Teresa and her family that it's now become a documentary about Teresa. It's just like every season, it's just about Teresa and what the people who like or do not like her are doing. I don't feel like it represents Jersey anymore. Yes, it represented a certain part of Jersey, but I feel like at this point, guys, we're over a decade in. Y'all have to give us something else. But this Danielle girl is great. I just feel like she will be better suited for Mob Wives because she represents a middle class, working class part of Jersey. Nothing is wrong with that, right? I say this as a working class, middle class. I was upper class at one point. Whew, got humbled real quick person, right? So I'm not like talking about her or anything like that, but I'm just saying that like the first housewife of the Real Housewives of New Jersey franchise is wealth. It's money because it's supposed to be a mockumentary of the popular show back in the day called Desperate Housewives. So like wealth is what is supposed to bind these ladies together, and Jersey just isn't giving it for me. And I feel like a lot of these shows get away with that. Like OC gets away with it a lot, right? OC started with wealth. OC started, I would give them that, but they just have not been bringing it. New York has always given us wealth. Beverly Hills, they get away with giving us dry seasons because they give us wealth. And Jersey is something different. It's something different. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like we got to get the wealth into this show because there is Jersey wealth. There is Jersey wealth. Jersey is so wealthy. What Danielle has is middle class. That's how wealthy Jersey is. Like there's money there, but we just do not see it. But if we are going to allow women who are in a certain tax bracket to be a part of this show, then why in the hell have we not yet put Drita DeVanzo on this show? She's friends with Teresa. She has the personality for reality TV. She was on a really successful TV show, Mob Wives, for years. She's friends with a lot of people, especially people in the industry. She has history. She, I know she got people in Jersey. I know that she could get a little condo in Jersey to film this show, or take the trip from the island over to Jersey. Why not get her? I think she would be a great housewife, and I think we need somebody on this show who does not have any alliances and will be the voice of reason for the audience. I think Jersey also needs that. We don't have a voice of reason for the audience. So it's just a bunch of women fighting, and there's just no conclusion, no peace, no fun, no joy, just alcohol, insults, and synthetic ponytail pulling. We need a voice of reason because ain't nobody gonna come for Drita on that show, right? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to that lady because they know she scraps at her big age. So I feel like she would be a fun voice of reason because that's what she was doing before she started fighting everybody on Mob Wives. Her confessionals are iconic. People quote them like they quote Nene's confessionals from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I feel like Drita would be a great addition to this show if we're not going to make wealth a priority. And that's not a read. I'm just talking about the reality of it. If we're not going to make wealth a priority, why in the hell is Drita DeVanzo not on the show? Why? Like she would take this show up another level. But I do like Danielle. I will give her that. I do like Danielle. I just think she'll be better suited for Mob Wives. But she's fun. She's young. She doesn't give me Jersey. She definitely gives me, Staten Island. I think that's where she's from. I don't get Jersey from her, but it's cool. She has great personality. But that's where I'm at with the new girls. There's another lady on here. I could not find her picture, but I believe her name is, what is her name? Rachel? No, Jen Fessler. Let me bring up her picture. Because she doesn't have I couldn't find a promo picture of her, but I want to go to her Instagram. While I bring her Instagram up, I think that Jen is, oh, wait a minute. I just saw this strawberry vase that I have been trying to purchase for months. I'm going to save that so I can get that. Listen. It's not easy being quirky. Jen Fessler. This is her. She's fun, right? She was the lady who was doing the weird eating at the party where everybody was fighting. I think she's cute. I think she's fun. I think she needs to be on a different show. I don't think that this show suits her, right? I think she needs to be on a softer show with a more mature cast and audience. Here is why. I just don't think that Jen is at the point in her life where she's going to get into all these fights that is required to be on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. She was frustrated by that last fight that they had, and she was trying to do these comedic bits that didn't land. And I just feel like the ladies are not featuring her. They're not paying her any attention. She doesn't quite fit just anywhere. And I just don't know if she's the best addition. And I'm just like, what is going on with Jersey with the casting? Because the people that they're bringing in, I'm like, this can't be the best, right? Like, there has to be something going on over there. I don't have any insider tea, right? I don't know what's going on, but it's just like, out of all the material that you have in Jersey, like, is none of the Jerseylicious characters, are they not looking for work? You know, we could have got somebody from Jerseylicious, somebody from Mont Wives, Jen Fessler, who's a sweetie, a fun, sweet woman. I just don't think that she is a good fit for this cast. I don't see her scrapping with, Dolores. I don't see her trying to shut down Teresa. I don't see her trying to, bring together Teresa and Melissa. I don't see her, gossiping with Margaret. I feel like she's far too soft, and that's a good thing for this show. So that's my take on the new girls. Let's get into episode 1. Episode 1, draining. That episode drained me. I'm sick of the Gorga Judice. What's her new name? Manuela's. What's Teresa's new name? Luis Manuela? What's her last name? Teresa Judice's new name. Because she said she was changing her. She was changing her last name. Ruelas. Yes. The Gorga Judice / Ruelas war. I'm tired. Are they not tired? Is this cast not tired? Listen, imagine how tired we are. We're just watching it. We're just watching. Y'all still fighting. And listen, I'm not team nobody, right? I will say I don't have any favorites in this franchise. I was starting to have a favorite with the Grand Dame, but she's been getting on my nerves. She's bringing me back a little bit this season, but I don't have any favorites. I talk about, a lot of my reviews are talking about as a fan, but also as somebody who works in TV, knows a lot of stuff inside and outside about it. And I just have a different perspective on it, right? So my thing is, Teresa is the star of Jersey. Even if the cast doesn't want to admit it, you have to be real here. She is the star of this show. Every freaking storyline revolves around this woman. Because as soon as we meet Teresa's planning for her wedding. She's hugging up on Louis, who gets redder and redder every season. Is he okay? I mean, I'm melanated, so I don't understand, so maybe that's something that happens to lighter folks, but he gets redder and redder every season, and more veins pop out of that man's face. Is he okay? Let me know. So anyway, Teresa is living her best life, getting things together for this wedding, about to marry this red man, doing what she wants to do. She don't talk about that family at all. Soon as we see with the first scene with Melissa and Joe, Teresa didn't talk to me. I mean, she didn't talk to me this whole time. And then she sent me a text and I couldn't, but like, what the hell do y'all have going on? Do y'all have a business? What's going on with the kids? Like we see the kids one time in their toddlers or infants. Next thing you know, they're 18 years old. Because we have spent so much time focused on Teresa. We don't know nothing about y'all lives. What are y'all doing? What happened to the boutique that Melissa had? What happened to her singing career? On display? Do you still want a baby? What are y'all doing? Every season, all y'all do is talk about your beef with Teresa. You got to bring something else. You have got to bring something else. This is annoying. As soon as they started, I said, oh my God. Even the fans of Joe and Melissa, y'all have to be annoyed at this point. Y'all got to be annoyed. Like, this is them. This is them. And I saw, or I listened to a podcast with Teresa, and I think one of you guys sent it to me. And she was just like, I'm tired of fighting with my family. She was just like, if this is what the show is going to be, I'm done. She's already talking about when her kids graduate high school, moving out of Jersey. She's already talking about no longer being on the show. She's tired. She's in love. She has her coin. She's tired. She wants to move on with her life. She does not want to be associated with Joe and Melissa anymore. And she went on to say, I gave birth on the show. I think she said I gave birth on the show to 2 kids. I got divorced on the show. I lost and buried my parents on the show. I went to jail on the show. I watched my husband go to jail on the show. I came out of prison on the show. I divorced my husband on the show. I went to go visit my ex-husband in Italy on the show with my kids. She was just basically saying, I have had so many storylines on this show. Everybody knows so much about me. What do you guys know about Joe and Melissa? Besides the fact that all they do is fight with me. And the girl is right. Even if you don't like her, she's right. I don't know what Joe and Melissa have done. Melissa, on her own. I'm like, what do you guys do? What is y'all storyline besides beefing with this woman? And then y'all get on these interviews and you're just like, well, Teresa's not the star of the show. It's an ensemble cast. We got to be real. It's not. This is Teresa's show. Because everybody makes it about her. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of this family fighting. Y'all have got to give us something else. I feel like we have a really great direction we can go in with Danielle, because Danielle is coming in with some energy. Again, I do think she's better suited for Mob Wives, but at least she has some energy. And I see her and Jennifer, Aiden linking up. And I want that for Jennifer, right? Because Teresa don't have her back. Dolores ain't never had her back. Dolores has only been loyal to Teresa. So I am cool on these two, Jennifer and Danielle, linking up and becoming some kind of buddies on the show and being the next generation of Jersey. If this is what, if these two are going to be the next generation of Jersey, then I'm cool with it. As long as we bring in Drew DeVanzo, I'm cool with it. Everybody else can go. Everybody else can go. Teresa's tired. We see it. She don't feel like it. She don't want to do it. Let that girl go on and live her best life and pop up on, Ultimate Girls Trip seasons whenever she feels like it. But everybody else can go. Y'all don't contribute nothing. We still have yet to hear about Margaret, and all of her businesses being sued. We don't know nothing about that. We had an opportunity to learn about that. The best friend ain't on the show. Margaret's mad at people for talking to the best friend, but I'm like, Margaret, somebody got to get some tea on you on this show, because if we don't have somebody who does not like Margaret, her bestie, coming in and telling her business, we're not going to get it out of Margaret. She's not going to tell us. She's going to go full Robin Dixon. Well, I didn't think I needed to talk about it because nobody brought it up. Well, let your hating best or ex-best friend bring it up so we can have a storyline. We have to have something else on this show. They just don't give nothing. And I'm telling you, I'm always going to be annoyed because I feel like the Real Housewives of New York did not deserve what they got when Jersey is performing like this. I love Black Dolores. What is she serving besides an amazing BBL? Money well spent. Money well spent. Mother got a good BBL. I was like, okay. She had her little velour two-piece. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. She got a great BBL. That's it. She got this new guy who I don't really think she like that. I'm happy that Dolores has finally found love. But Dolores, you got a type. You love a snatched man, because when we saw her new man, I was like, all right. Just a Botox king. But like Dolores doesn't give us anything else. I mean, we were on the journey with her son, but the fans made it really uncomfortable for that boy to be on the show, lusting after that child. So that just became uncomfortable. Her daughter does not like filming. So we never see her. Frank, you can't film with him for too long because I feel like Frank just can't film for too long because Frank is just going to do something inappropriate. What else does Dolores bring? Besides an amazing BBL. Like, what else does she bring? We have to do something. Jennifer and Teresa tell their whole lives. Jackie is friend of this season. I thought y'all was lying, but she is friend of this season. I don't even think, have we heard her voice at all this season? They cut that check beyond in half. At this point, they probably paying her in food stamps. My God, today. This is less than friend of. And I think one of the girls, Danielle, I think she's trying to beef for her. It's either Danielle or Rachel is trying to beef for her. But I'm like, we hear more from Rachel about the beef with Jackie than we do of Jackie. They cut her out of this whole season. So far. So far, it's only episode 2. What else do I want to talk about? Jennifer. I'm glad that Jennifer is starting off the season guns blazing. She's cussing out everybody, and she needs to. And when she's done cussing out everybody, she needs to give Teresa some of that too. Because listen, I know this is Teresa's show. I know she is the star of the show, but Jennifer is the Candace of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. You're tuning in for her as well. I love Jennifer. I think she's a great addition to the show. But Teresa, you're not a good friend to her. You can do more. You can do more. Jennifer, hook up with Danielle and y'all two just take over Jersey. That's what y'all need to do. Because ain't nobody else trying to link up. Ain't nobody else trying to be no powerhouse on this show. Y'all two link up and y'all get the girls. Y'all become in charge of the girls. Y'all too. I feel like y'all got the energy to do it. But I'm glad that Jennifer is starting off the season cussing out everybody. Dolores, you're not a good friend to her. You're not. As soon as you get mad at Jennifer, you start cussing her out, calling her all kinds of names. I do think that your feelings are going to be hurt when you hear her call you a beat up leather bag, because Jennifer, that you crossed the line. You crossed the line with Dolores, and she's going to be hurt about that at the reunion. So just apologize immediately and move forward. But I'm glad that Jennifer is cussing out everybody, even her husband, because he don't stand up for her enough. So I'm glad. Cuss them all out. And she was like, I don't want to be friends with none of these people. Teresa, at your wedding, don't sit me with none of them. I'm good. And I'm glad because I needed for her to get there so that she can stop apologizing every season. All she does is apologize to these girls because what happens is the ladies who don't like Teresa, right, take out their aggression and anger on Jennifer because they can't come after Teresa because Teresa's the star of the show. So they'll say little light things about Teresa, but Jennifer will get the brunt of all of their anger and issues with Teresa. And it's just not fair. So I'm glad that she's cussing people out, not backing down, not apologizing, and burning bridges. Good for her. Good for her. Burn it with Teresa too. She's not a good friend to you, Jennifer. She's in her own little world. Teresa is happy with the family that she has created and the friend group that she has created. She don't care. Teresa is checked out. She is checked out. Jennifer, you're checked in, so you need to get to work. But I'm proud of how you came in to this season. That's all I wanted to say. Right? Margaret. Last thing. Margaret is an iconic pot stirrer. Here's why I say that. Because Jennifer was fighting with everybody at this party, cussing everybody out, not backing down. And I loved it. She got into it with Dolores. Dolores, I love you. You are an intricate part of the show. You need to give more. But I ain't got no beef with you. I will say this. You throw out a lot of empty threats. Because in this episode, in episode 2, she says that she's going to break Jennifer's face or smash her face in or something. Ma'am, for you to have these hands that everybody talks about, we never see it. Like, I saw you in a whole different light when you tried to intimidate Jackie. And Jackie was like, I'm not afraid of you. You were doing all that screaming, all that cussing, yelling all them insults, pushing your titties into Jackie's chest. And she was like, I'm not afraid of you. So scream and do whatever you want. I'm not afraid. and didn't break, didn't shake nothing. And you sat there and did all of that and never threw one hand. Even when people started pulling you back, nothing. So let's stop with the idle threats, right? You're not about that life. You're not going to do anything. Keep the threats to yourself and figure out a way to communicate with people. Because if you're not going to throw hands, what's the point of the threats? Like, nobody's afraid of you because you are not a hand thrower, at least on this show. Back in the day, you was throwing hands, but you're not throwing hands on this show. So just keep the threats to yourself because it just doesn't work anymore, right? So anyway, Jennifer gets into it with Dolores at Danielle's party that she has, and Danielle, the house is cute. The house is cute. You can't get mad at these ladies who live in mansions when they come in to say that your house is cute. It's no shade, but the house is cute. It's cute. So Dolores is mad at Jennifer because Jennifer is talking about their issues to everybody. And Dolores is like, well, you could have said something to me. And Jennifer is just like, I wanted you to come to me because you hurt me. Real childish or whatever, right? So they're going back and forth. Then Margaret jumps in. Margaret keeps on trying to check Jennifer like she's some child. And Margaret, you have come after Jennifer so many times. You are not in the place to check her, especially when you have come for her and been wrong every time you've come for her. So then Jennifer was getting upset about that. And Margaret was just like, let's move forward. And Jennifer was just like, I can't move forward with you when you're insulting me and saying nasty things to me. And then Margaret is just like, well, you were talking to my ex-best friend and getting information on me. That is the freaking show. Margaret, you do that to everybody. So the one time that somebody does it to you, all of a sudden it's a violation. Get the hell out of here. Y'all all do that. Y'all all have y'all peoples try to find some dirt on every cast member so you can have a storyline revolving around their drama and not the drama in your own home. I hope that Robin Dixon blew it up for all of y'all and that Bravo stop allowing y'all to do that stuff. I hope that Bravo comes into any other season that's filming and tells y'all better come with a storyline or we are doing y'all like we did Jackie Gold Snyder, because I have yet to hear that woman speak. Okay, they're not playing. And I hope they apply this with all seasons where it's just like you have to have a storyline. If your storyline is about somebody else, some drama or some tea that you'd heard about somebody else, cut. Friend of. What is going on in your life? If your life is so great, you don't have nothing to talk about, then you don't get to be on this show. That's what Bravo needs to do moving forward, because this show has been, not just this show, but the franchise has just become so catty and dark and aggressive and nasty because this is what the ladies are doing. They're using their assistants to find, to go to these gossip magazines and blogs or whatever and find information on each other so that they can spend the whole season talking about if this person's husband has cheated on them and not the fact that they're probably about to go to prison for insurance fraud. That's the story right there, but we don't get that story because they are directing the storyline about somebody else. Bravo needs to stop allowing the housewives to do that because we get robbed of a really good season because they're playing checkers. Chess. Check. Yeah, play. Yeah. I know I was going to get there eventually, but that's just what needs to happen. So anyway, everybody's fighting or whatever. And then Margaret says, to Teresa something about her seating, that she's not really good at seating. And she says this comment. When she says this comment, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Teresa and Melissa, who weren't even talking to each other, starts fighting. And Margaret's like, oh my God, guys, come on. You guys, your family, don't fight. Let's work it out. Come on. Let's work it out. Come on. Right? Like she didn't start that. This woman is so freaking iconic. People don't like her for whatever reason. There's reasons. I understand it. But she is an iconic pot stirrer. She knew that Melissa and Teresa were not talking to each other. And she knew that comment about Teresa's wedding seating was going to start the flame. Get the flame going between Melissa and Teresa. And as soon as she said that, boom, these two are fighting back and forth. And nobody caught the fact that Margaret started it. Nobody has ever jumped on the fact that Margaret started that rumor about Melissa's husband. Like Margaret absolutely said it. Absolutely said that to Jennifer. Absolutely said that. But everybody's going to play dumb like they don't know that Margaret is the messiest of them all. She is messy. She's a pot stirrer, and she will remain on this show because she does it so flawlessly. Neither one of them caught it. I was like, y'all were fine. Y'all were not talking to each other. Y'all were not being messy. But as soon as Margaret said that comment, here y'all two go fighting, looking ridiculous. Looking ridiculous. And Margaret just sits back like she didn't do anything. Iconic behavior. That's all I wanted to say. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. We're going to talk for a few minutes and then we're going to get into Love After LOCKUP. Love After LOCKUP. Yakutis, what's up? Said Nikki, Jackie spoke one sentence on each episode. They cut her good. Jackie, if I was you, I wouldn't come back next season. This is like, we've seen people be dropped down a friend of the show, but this right here seems personal, right? Don't it seem personal? It wasn't until Danielle was talking about how Jackie looks her up and down that I was like, oh, Jackie's on this season. And I was in episode 2. Before I realized that I haven't seen or heard from Jackie. Oh my God. And even in the scene when Danielle was talking about her, we did not hear Jackie's voice. This seems personal. Jackie, who did you piss off? Because this is the thing, Jackie. Oh, these are my heart straws. You can't really see them. I'm trying to be festive. This is my thing, Jackie. You got a slick mouth. You got a real slick mouth. A real slick mouth. And you have this air of, I'm like far too educated to be around these people, but you're around these people and you're on this show. So I feel like you probably said something to the wrong person on this show, like, and I'm talking like production or something. You probably said something to an EP or, you know, the owner of the production company, and it rubbed them the wrong. Something happened because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You are still a part of this cast, like, but you would never know. You would never know. Yeah, Shonda, she does it all the time. Nobody catches her. Nobody catches her. She's so good at it. She's so good. Dolce said, remember, Dolores said she didn't want to be on Marge's bad side. She sure did, because Marge knows a lot of people's tea. Like, Marge knows everybody's business. So now she's mad that now Teresa and Jennifer have a really good source because her childhood best friend, she got some tea on Margaret. So now, because Jennifer and Teresa are talking to a really good source, all of a sudden, this is horrible. What you're doing is so wrong. Why don't you do that to everybody? Now it's being done back to you. Now we have a season. Let's go. Don't do to other people what you don't want done to you. Hey, Give Me Shelter. Give Me Shelter said Teresa was the breakout star since season 1. Since Teresa flipped that table, prostitution whore, iconic. It's a fact. What's also a fact is that Melissa and Joe made Tree their story since season 3. True. Carlos King confirmed it. They had been trying to get on the show for years, and they went behind Teresa's back and got on the show. And Teresa called Carlos and was just like, "Did you know that my brother-in-law and sister, my brother and sister-in-law, are going to be on the show?" She had no idea. And they talk about, oh, no, we didn't want to be on the show. Bravo just thought we would be interesting. That was the problem. I feel like they've been jealous of her ever since. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time in families. When it's somebody that gets the attention that you feel like you should want, or maybe they were jealous or mad at Teresa for not bringing them on the show and being a part of her story. I see Joe wanting to be on the show, but I also see Melissa making it an issue that Teresa wouldn't bring her on the show and do more things. But Teresa was like, we were never close. So I wouldn't do stuff with you that I would do with Dina. I wouldn't make you my daughter's godmother when you're not my best friend. Like, we don't hang out. We don't do any of that stuff. We only see each other at like family gatherings. We weren't close. So why would I include you in things? And I think that's where the rift pretty much started. I honestly feel like if Melissa steps out of it, Teresa and Joe could fix it and they would be fine. But I think the issue is Melissa. And I'm not saying that any of that the stuff that Teresa did to Melissa wasn't wrong, right? I don't agree with a lot of stuff that the both of them did to each other, but I also feel like if you see your husband is in pain because he really wants this relationship to work with his sister, this is your heart. You love this man. As a wife, why wouldn't you just give him good advice instead of adding to the issue that he has with his sister? When he's saying, my sister really hurt me, when she did this, I don't think it's the best thing for Melissa to be like, yeah, she hurt me as well when she did this. And I'm not saying she needs to disregard herself, but I'm like, what is best for the family? Because now we saw in the trailer, the kids is getting involved. The kids is getting involved. And if Teresa's kids is getting involved, please believe Melissa and Joe's kids going to have something to say too. So what are y'all going to do? What are y'all going to do? I just feel like at some point, somebody got to be the bigger person and just be like, let's just really move forward. I will say, Melissa, you and Teresa have moved forward several times. This last time when y'all moved forward, as soon as you move forward with this woman, you couldn't wait to get in the scene with Jackie and Margaret to drag your sister-in-law. I'm like, I thought y'all just made peace. It's like, do you want to make peace with the girl or not? Even this season, I think this episode, she was just like, I'm glad that we're no longer thinking that we like each other. So why the hell did you want to be on the show if you and Teresa ain't never liked each other? I'm just saying, this is going to get real messy. Them kids is going to get involved, and it's going to get real messy because the Teresa's daughter, ooh, I don't know who that baby father is. Let me stop, because she does look like Joe's mother. But the baby that look different, her, now she's starting to speak. We haven't heard that child's voice for almost 15 years. Now she got something to say. What's next? Melissa's daughter's going to have something to say too. And then them sons, them vocal sons. And it's just going to get nasty. Next thing you know, the kids going to be fighting at events. What? Come on, Bravo. At some point, y'all got to step in. Y'all got to get y'all show back. Y'all got to get y'all show back. Great for reality TV. She a mess on Instagram. Them girls would not try her, but she would be the comedic relief that this show needs. They need comedic relief. That Jen girl was trying to be funny. It wasn't landing. The way she was eating, I was like, ma'am, this comedy bit you're trying to do with the food, mustard. What show are you on? What? This is not the Cara Burnett show. This is the Real Housewives of New Jersey. What are you doing? Sweet lady, I don't feel like she is what this show needs. I don't. Cammie said Drita would be topping them ladies, and she doesn't fight like that no more. But I also think they will not try to fight her. I think that they know of her and they won't fight her. Absolutely. Tarita flips tables. Drita flips people. Drita flips people, and she don't care if you get a lick in. She gonna get her lick back. So I think they all know about her, and I don't think that anybody's going to try her. So we're going to see a softer and fun side of Drita on this show. Jimmy said, New York doesn't have wealth anymore. Neither does Atlanta, if we're being honest. This is the thing about Atlanta, because I felt the same way too. I felt like Atlanta didn't have wealth. But the thing about it is Atlanta has wealth. Atlanta is just, if you are living in major cities, Atlanta is affordable, right? So for somebody like me who lives in LA and have lived in New York, Atlanta seems really cheap to me, right? But if I lived in Atlanta my whole life, I have family and friends who live there. It's just like, this place is expensive. And I'm like, I'm coming from LA. This is very budget friendly. So it all depends on how you're looking at it. But when you see where these people are living and what they're living in, it's like, this is wealth. This is wealth. I think all of them drive Bentleys. Like, Who got a Bentley on the cast besides Jennifer? Like, come on. It's Latasha says, I like that they all know one another though, like actually have old relationships. Do they anymore? It's just Teresa and Melissa at this point. They don't go far back with Marge. They don't go far back with Jennifer. They don't go far back with Jackie. All the OGs are gone. They're all gone. Same, Tony. Tony said, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched this franchise. I used to love it. Same. It is. I felt so bad when she said that baby's name was Jaden. I was like, Jaden? Now I got to see the mama. Now I got to see the mama. So much freaking wealth. Like nobody on this cast lives in a gated community in Jersey. You know, like half of the freaking execs on Microsoft live in Jersey. Jersey has so much wealth. We never see it. One thing I used to do when I lived in Cherry Hill, because we were living very working class in Cherry Hill, but even like working class Cherry Hill was a lot better than Philly working class, right? So the fun thing we would do is after church, we would just drive around and like the non-gated wealthy communities in Jersey and just like look at all the mansions and just all the land and the greenery and just how people would do their lawns. We used to do that all the time back in the day. And that's why I'm always so frustrated. Like there's so much wealth in Jersey and we never see it. We never really see it. Now, see, this is the thing. As somebody who lives in an immigrant area, I'm very careful about what I call tacky, because what some might call tacky, another person would call cultural. So from what I see of Jennifer's home, I think a lot of the decor and how it is styled and how a lot of, the molding is crafted, I think it's cultural. Hey, Dolce, thank you so much for the super chat. Dolce said, Real Housewives of Miami is amazing. I'm nervous for the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. They need a shakeup. All these shows need a shakeup at this point, but I'm fine if Potomac stays the same and just gets rid of Mia. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to find my clicker. I promise. Anyway, since we're talking about it, let's get into Miami. I said I was going to do Lockup. Let me just knock out the housewife shows. Let's talk about Miami. I spent far too much time on Jersey, but I was passionate. He is jealous for me. Sorry I didn't wrap up Salt Lake City. I'm done reviewing that show. You'll find out why later, but yeah. Give me shelter. Thank you so much for the super chat. Give me shelter. Said, look your lives, Nikki.Star. Thank you. Give me shelter. Thank you for being here. Hey, Alex, thank you for the super chat. Yes, I'm watching Drag Race. I plan on doing a review of it tomorrow. I just do not know what time. I think I got all my super chats. Let me know if I missed something, Star family. Guys. Hold on, I'm just making sure I got all my super chats. Great. I just got into I gotta get off of TikTok. I just got into like making creative ice, and I bought all of these ice cubes, and like now every time I have a drink, I have it with a big ice cube and it has like all kinds of fruit in it, and now I'm obsessed. Pray for me. I think I'm on Japanese TikTok a lot. Oh God, what is going on? Let's get into the Real Housewives of Miami. Dr. Nicole, I hated the fact that she apologized to Alexa. Alexa, in my opinion, is not in charge of the girls. She's not. So I don't know. Dr. Nicole, if you're watching, you're that girl. You are that girl. Stop apologizing. Stop trying to be friends with Alexia like she's in charge of the girls. Alexia was in charge of the girls back in 1997 during the first season of The Real Housewives of Miami. Times have changed. You're in charge of the girls. You're a whole doctor, a doctor. Like how you told them, when you have a real career and somebody lies on you, then you will have an opinion about how I feel. Stay there. You are a doctor. You got a real job, a real career. You cannot let these girls phase you. You are that girl. You know what? Let me watch the first season of the new season because I like her. I like Dr. Nicole. But I only know her from this season. So I don't know if I'm wrong about liking her, but I like her. And I need her to stop apologizing to Alexia like she's not that girl. Like, who is Alexia? I don't know what happened here, but all of these ladies are like bowing down to Alexia. And it's so weird to me because I don't see why they are like allowing her to just run them like this. It's just so weird to me. Let's get into Julia's adoption journey. I think it's beautiful that she wants to give a home to an older child who, you know, does not have a family or a home. I love that, right? My only issue, Julia, with how this is being expressed to the audience is that you're doing this because you're bored, right? You don't like being an empty nester. The farm wasn't enough for you. The animals wasn't enough for you. So now you're getting a human to occupy that time. I don't know if that's the best decision, right? Maybe you just need to become a lady who lunches and just, you know, gives to charities or, you know, works at community centers that help, you know, disenfranchised children, right? Because I feel like using a human to make you feel a certain way is not going to work in that person's favor when they realize that they're a step up from a pet. And you might not feel that way, but the way it is being explained on the show, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. It makes me feel very, very uncomfortable because if you would have led with, I'm not done being a mom. You know, my kids are older and they moved away and I miss them, but I'm not done. I'm not done mothering. I'm not done raising. I'm still here. But it was expressed to us as, oh, well, you know, my kids are gone and they don't want to be bothered with me anymore. And, you know, the farm, I'm getting tired of the farm. I'm getting, you know, I can't get another dog. So let me get a kid. Well, I need, you know, whoever is your story producer to, if this comes back next season, to give this storyline to us in a different way, because I'm not able to digest this comfortably. I feel very uncomfortable about this adoption story, especially because, you know, again, TIK TOK, there are a lot of adopted kids telling horror stories, especially adopted, what is it? Is it transracial adoption? Basically where the kid is not of the culture of the family being adopted into. So I'm hoping, oh Lord, if this is a non-white child, Lord. I don't know, Julia. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. I think it's a beautiful thing that you want to give a child a home, but especially you're trying to get a teenager. You're trying to get a teenager who you want to fill the void of your teenager leaving. What happens when this teenager start acting like a teenager and you don't like it? What happens? You know what I mean? Because y'all get real fickle when y'all be adopting teenagers. Y'all get real fickle when they start being teenagers and y'all don't like it anymore. Let me back out of there, but I don't know, girl. I just feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable with that storyline. Larson's box braids. Let's get into it, y'all. This is the only reason why I'm doing this review. Them terrible box braids. Let me tell you something. Larson knew. Her storyline producer knew that this was not going to go over well. So they decided to show us a picture of Larson on vacation with her biracial child with braids to be like, yeah, this is what we do on vacation. It is not what you do. Your grandparents are Moroccan. Not you. Not you. Don't play. Don't play. And the thing about it is, Gertie was right. Gertie was like, oh, well, her box braids are not like mine. Because them box braids was terrible. Whoever that sister was that did your braids, Larsa, she took your money. And she probably did it for the culture. Because though, I mean, they looked painful. They were so spaced out. It seemed like the braids didn't latch to her hair prop. It was a mess. It was a mess. But you knew, Larsa, you knew that those braids were wrong. That's why you made sure to prop up that biracial child in that picture. To be like, this is what me and my half-black daughter does all the time on vacation. Oh my God. Child, y'all love our rhythm, but not our blues. Girl, get out of here. Get out of my Moroccan Grant. Get out of here. Whoo! But I think it wasn't that much. It didn't go over as poorly as it could have went over because the box braids were just terrible. They were terrible. They took your money, girl. They were not cute. Anyway, since we're talking about box braids, Kiki, why were you on a water slide with a wig? Kiki, you are the only Black girl that I know that goes on vacation and does not get braids. Like, why are you in the Bahamas with no braids? What are you doing? Speaking of the Bahamas, this is what I like. This is what the housewives used to do. They're not doing it as much. They used to advertise a location where the housewives did their girls' trip to, and they would advertise the location in a way that brought business to that location. Like, business will be booming, like at a restaurant. This really pretty much started with the Real Housewives of New York, because every restaurant, they would first feature that restaurant for like 30 seconds or so, and then you cut to the ladies dining in the restaurant, meeting the restaurant manager, ordering, the specials from the on the house or whatever, the specials of the chef or whatever. And that used to really like just send everybody to those restaurants or to the boutiques that they were shopping at, right? They don't do that as much anymore, especially with Beverly Hills, which is very weird because they have a lot of great places out here in LA and especially in Beverly Hills, but they stay in Encino for some reason. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills need to be the Real Housewives of Encino. Like, they don't leave Encino. It's so weird to me. But with the Real Housewives of Miami, what they do, and I think is so smart, which is why I feel like they deserve to be on Bravo first, then sent to Peacock, because I feel like so much of the fan base is missing out on a really great show, because the show is authentic and is very old school. This is very reminiscent of what the Housewives used to be. The way they advertise this location for the Real Housewives of Miami's girls trip, I'm like, oh, I want to go. Like, the shots were beautiful. The food shots were beautiful. We actually saw them eating. We actually got shots of the place that they were going to before they went in. So you could write it down. You could Yelp it. You could save it so that you can go there on your next location. I literally spent this episode planning my vacation to where they had their girls trip, because it was such a good shot. And this is why people used to really allow Bravo with no fee, right, into their location or their restaurants, their boutiques, wherever, because Bravo used to give them a really great commercial. I don't see it as much anymore on the other shows, but I saw this on Miami and I was just like, this is such a good show. Like, we're missing like the rest of the fan base is missing out on this show. Because they're so like it. I get nostalgic watching this show. I really, really do. Let's move on. This is probably going to be the last time I talk about this. The elephant in the room on this show is Marisol's drinking problem. And I feel like the show doesn't talk about it because it's or like really make it serious because it's been a part of like her kooky storyline, but she has a problem. She really, really does. And like her having a flask in every episode was cute, right? Because it was like, oh, this is her thing. Then we get to the point where she's slurring her words in scenes and confessionals, where she's just not showing up to stuff because she's sick all the time, where she's literally in confessionals telling us that she doesn't eat, but she drinks a lot. And then we have scenes where the women are like, Marisol, you had a lot to drink, you have to eat something. And I'm like, at what point are we going to have that conversation? Now, I don't know if Marisol was afraid of the show last season. If she was a main cast member and dropped down to friend of the show this season, I think we all know why. Like, I don't think it's cute anymore with the flask, with her having a different cup in her confessionals, because now it's starting. Now I'm seeing that there's some kind of problem and the show isn't acknowledging it. And you guys know that I love a good housewife, but I love a good housewife that's healthy. You know what I mean? Y'all know I am the number one fan of Kim Richards coming back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills if she's healthy. Marisol, I think is great for this show. I only want her on the show if she's healthy, and I feel like there's something happening there. And the cast knows because we hear them, like it's not the main audio, but you can hear the underlying audio of ladies like, oh, have some bread. Eat this. Oh no, Marisol said, oh, you got up too fast. You've been drinking and you haven't had anything to eat. Like, come on, this is every freaking scene. At what point are we going to have the real conversation and be like, Marisol, what's going on? Because they make comments about it, but it's all lighthearted. But there's truth in comedy. That's all I'm saying. And she did say that she's been dealing with a lot, right? Because she did talk about the loss of her mother. And I don't know. I just hope she's okay. It's just not cute anymore. And honey, it's not witchcraft that makes you feel sick all the time, which is why you can't film all of the scenes. It's the alcohol. Because she was like, oh, I think somebody did some kind of witchcraft on me. And so that's why I wasn't able to make it. But I'm feeling better now. Girl, it was the alcohol. It's not witchcraft. You gotta get some water. Anyway, and this episode, Alexia and Larsa, we're constantly talking about how Adriana plays victim a lot. And I can't speak about any other season because I didn't, I don't remember the older seasons and I didn't watch the last of the new season. I will say from what I've seen on this season, Adriana having issues with Alexia is right. Alexia spent this entire season thus far talking about Adriana's man and saying that she is dating a married man, basically having an affair. And when she was presented with the facts, she played victim. And now she's like, oh, I'm never apologizing because Adriana is with a man that would speak to a woman that way. You lied on that man. He showed you his divorce papers and you said, what is that? He said, can you not read? And all of a sudden he's mean and he's nasty to women. And you can't believe that Adriana will be with somebody like that. And you're mad at Julia because she loves women, but she didn't defend you. Like, girl, why are you playing victim? So I just feel like the things that Larsa and Alexia are saying about Adriana, I see that more with them. And I don't see it with Adriana. Again, I didn't watch last season, so they could be right. But from what I'm seeing of this season, y'all the ones coming for Adriana, especially Alexia. I can't believe she hasn't apologized yet. Dr. Nicole, stop apologizing to her. Stop apologizing to her. The way Alexia and her man got you and your fiance together, and y'all sat there and acted like it wasn't a big deal. That man kept on coming at your fiance's business, saying that he's not a real lawyer and all of this stuff. Alexia was dragging you and him up and down Miami Boulevard, if there is a boulevard, and y'all are acting hurt but not going back at Alexia and her man. And then you ask Alexia to have a sit down to apologize to her for what? Girl, you better wake up. You're that girl, not Alexia. What do you guys have to say? Let's talk about it and then we'll really get into, let me get my notes now for Love at the Lockup. There she is. Then we'll get into Love at the Lockup. Billy says the Real Housewives of New Jersey has always been old drama. It's time to move on. And I love Patterson Dolores. I also love the fact that Joe was like, you know, me and Teresa, we had nothing. We grew up in the hood. Like we had nothing. It was just us. And now that we have all of this stuff, all of these things, now our relationship is strained. If that is not the hood tale of so many people, that like so many people have that same story. I feel like these two have such a rich storyline, but we're stuck. We are stuck with this family feud. It is so unfortunate. Who are their story producers? Like, why have y'all been able to get away with not moving this story along for 10 plus years? That is insane to me. That is insane to me. You didn't know what girl, that's what I thought I was bougie. Girl, girl. My Cherry Hill, New Jersey era was something else. You couldn't tell me nothing, okay? I used to be at that mall all the time. I used to actually work at the Cherry Hill Mall at the H&M. I'm the flyest I've ever been in my life is when I worked at H&M. Let me tell you something. I had the latest. I was such a fly girl. No, it was when I worked at H&M, but it was also when I worked at the 34th Street Gap, and I was right across the street from the first ever H&M in America. And that's when I knew, started learning about H&M. But then when I went to the Cherry Hill Mall to H&M, you couldn't tell me nothing. And then on my lunch break, I would go across the street to Silver Diner, and I used to have the crab chowder. And then because my metabolism was great back then, I was 19. Okay, I used to also get the strawberry French toast, and then end with the blueberry smoothie. My God, today, what a time! What a time! Billy said that lake house they rented in season 11 looks so cheap for a housewife show. Jersey don't have the coin. Jersey don't have the coin. I don't know what. Yes, maybe that's what it is, Emma. They can't get old money. Jersey old money, longer than New York old money. My God, today. All Day Finesse said, driving through the east side of Cherry Hill gives you I want to be rich one day vibes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll get one last thing about Jersey and then we'll get into Miami. Ryan says Jennifer Aiden had a partnership with a Z Gallery for the interior design of her home. So that's why it looks the way it does. Oh, is this Z Gallery shade? Because I love Z Gallery. They have all my sparkly vases and accessories. I hope that's not a Z Gallery read, right? Wendy says for Drag Race, I am now doing night shifts, so I have to dodge spoilers for 2 days. Oh, that sucks because everybody talks about Drag Race. That's why I make sure I watch it Friday nights because I do not want to miss anything. Hey, Amario. Amario said, hey, NikkiNicoleStar fam, has The Bachelor been covered yet? No, I am about to get into Love After Lockup. Give me Shelton and then The Bachelor. Give me Shelton said, Dr. Nicole is my favorite. My top three are Nicole, Kiki, and Martina. Oh, I love Kiki. She's just so fun. I love her confessionals. Okay, so you've liked her since last season. Good. She doesn't know that she's that girl yet. She gives me Jennifer Aiden. She does not know that she's that girl. I felt like after the last reunion, Jennifer Aiden would have realized that she was that girl. Because that Merriam-Webster back me up comment, woo, I was like, oh, she's coming into her era. She knows who she is now. I don't think she knows that yet. We will see. Tony says she grew on me this season. I love that she puts her black card on the lawyer's lap and it didn't faze her. That's iconic. She's good. She's good. I like Dr. Nicole. Give me Shelter said, I think Julia is faking this storyline. I wouldn't be surprised if Martina found out watching the show last week. Oh, the way it's being delivered on this show. Miss Brown Sugar said it's also weird after her daughter aired out that she wasn't always involved anyhow, at least with school stuff. Oh, really? Yikes, I didn't know the kids was talking. Josie said, I think Alexia gets special treatment and she acts like the HBIC because of colorism. Is it colorism? This is coming from me, right? Is it colorism or is it the fact that she was the HBIC on the show when it first came together and they felt like they needed her? They did the same thing with the Real Housewives of Dubai, right? They got somebody that they thought was that girl of the show that they were on that they're rebooting and tried to craft everybody around her. And now that, Alexia and who's the other lady, Carolyn Stansbury, they're on these shows acting like they're that girl. But we don't really, it's not 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Oh, that scared me. Why was that so loud? And that's Yocrates on my Instagram. Jessie Lee said, and she didn't know the name of the daughter's school. Oh, y'all think she's faking? Ciao. Nona said, hi, Nikki, miss you. I have something for you. Do I still send to your P.O. Box? Yes. The P.O. Box is live and in charge. Live and in charge. Hey, Miss Gigi. Miss Gigi said, Julia doesn't need a baby just because she's bored. I absolutely agree. Cam, what's up? Says, as a transracial adoptee, I'm not with her adopting to fill a hole in her heart. You are right about horror stories with adoption. I know what you meant, Cam. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that she's not genuine. I'm just saying the way it's being delivered makes me feel a certain way. Josie said, Julia needs to volunteer at a school. Thank you. Or an after school program and call it a day. Yep. Tia B said, Lawson thought she ate with them horrible braids because she probably dates black men who gas that foolish behavior up. Right? Because it's so crazy to me how black men, it is what it is, how black men who don't date black women will get non-black women and make them put on like the cloak of a black woman. You know what I mean? Like they make them dress and talk and, do certain things to their body and get certain operations to make them have like this, to the point where they look like they're black or have a black parent. And it's just like, if you don't want this, why are you spending so much money to make this woman who's not that? Is it because you want this, but you don't want the power? That's what I feel like. I feel like black men who don't date black women absolutely are attracted to black women. They're not attracted to black women's power. That's what I get. And I'm not saying that the women that they date don't have power, but I think they go after women who come from a culture where the women are raised to be a certain way and where the men feel a bit more dominant. I'm just talking. Miss Brown Sugar said, nah, she says older child, but has mentioned 3 multiple times. I think she's trying for as young as possible. Oh, really? Didn't she say older when she met with Adriana? I think she said older. I could be wrong. Greta said those braids they looked painful. The edges were red and you could see the little bumps. I'm like, oh, girl, when you see the bumps, it's too tight. I ain't want to say it. You know what I mean? I ain't want to say it. But I'm like, don't throw out Morocco like that. Like, we don't know the cultural makeup of Morocco. Girl, bye. Love Like You Are said Loss is weird as hell for also taking pictures of her feet in random scenes. Well, she makes money off of that. She sells her feet. Ciao. Scotty, what the hell did you do to this woman? Love by You said, at least when Kim K got box braids, it's ridiculous. I loved her reason. She said she did it because she wanted her daughters to love protective styles and embracing it. Okay. Bianca said, yes, after watching, I want to go to the Bahamas. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was looking at every place they went to. It looked like a really good time. That was a great commercial for that location. Good job, Bravo. Yeah, I absolutely want to stay. I looked it up and everything. I'm, was looking up the prices months out. I'm going. Josie said, I was so concerned about Kiki's wig, but it looked like she brought multiple. She did. And they're high quality, so she didn't care. She didn't, but she's on a water slide and she's like, ah! holding a wig down. I'm like, Kiki, get braids. Get braids. Or put your hair in 2 puff ponytails. Hey, So Steph. Hey, Sebastian. I don't know why Larsa. I think Larsa tries to play younger because she's dating somebody a lot younger. But it's like, when she said that line about the Golden Girls, all the ladies looked at her like, Larsa, you almost 50. Stop playing. Like, we can Google you. Like, stop. I don't know why she wants to, like, why she thinks that we don't know. I don't know. She dates younger men, really younger, like 20 years younger than her. I didn't understand her being besties with Kim Kardashian, who was like, it's like a decade younger. I don't know. I just felt like it was just such a weird, I don't know. I don't know why she did that. I mean, I do know why. I think she did it because she just wanted to be like, oh, I'm so young. I'm an 80s baby. And everybody's like, you're almost a 60s baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, even if you're an 80s baby, you know the Golden Girls. You got to be a 90s baby. No, yeah, I think that'd be a 2000s. It has to be 2000s. Because I feel like even if you're a 90s baby, you remember the Golden Girls, right? I don't know. Josie said, Marisol scenes make me uncomfortable. Yeah, it was cute in the beginning. I'm just very uncomfortable. She needs to be on celebrity rehab, not Housewives. I do want her to get help away from cameras. Tony said, Marisol wasn't like this in the original Real Housewives of Miami. She wasn't. I think she's taking on her mom's spirit. That's how her mom used to be. Very true. Very, very true. Oh, thank you. Mama Star got me turtles. Thank you, my Valentine. Mina said, Julia wants a 1-year-old. She is saying older, but she specifically said she was around 1 to, oh, child. Julia, you can, but you can't hand that baby back. You cannot hand that baby back. Let me move on. Megan said, yep, that's why Nicole gave Larsa a mirror, because she projects her personality on others. Listen, Dr. Nicole is coming through with the stunts. Hey, Callista Cowley said, I bet that this is one of the reasons Dina left. She would need to be able to get away from her family fruit. Yeah, I think that's why they all left. I think that's why that whole family got off the show, because all they did was fight. You know what? Jersey had a lot of warring families. Ooh, child. Leah, yes, Leah was in charge of the girls in Miami because Leah was the wealthiest. I don't know why they don't have Leah back. She's been on Watch What Happens Live. I don't know why they don't have Leah back. She was good. She was really, really good. Let me get 2 more and then let's get into Love at the Lockup. Sarah said, born in 1998, and The Golden Girls is one of my favorite shows. Larsa was saying anything. Yeah, I'm like, the Golden Girls were huge. They're still huge to this day. I think you have to be born in the 2000s to even say something like that. Miss Brown Sugar said, Baja Mar Resorts must have an amazing promotion office. Real Housewives of Miami and The Bachelor. Yes. Oh, we gotta go, guys. We gotta go. Love Like Kiara said, Larsa was messing with Michael Jordan's son, so she's known him since she was a child. Like, you two grown and weird for that. You know, I'm not going to say that his mom can't like do anything about this. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from Philadelphia, but every time I saw Larsa, if she was messing with my son, girl, on site, because like, how do you not, as a mother, feel like, well, were you looking at my child the whole time that we were like having play dates? Were you looking at him? It's just very, very weird. Very, very weird. And it'd be like, oh, he's an adult, so it's okay. And it's like, yeah, but you don't think that's kind of weird? You know him since he was a child. Like, he's the same age as your children. But you know what? Consenting adults. And they are like in a full-on relationship. It's not like a messing with, they're together. They're together. Let's move on to Love at the Lockup. Love by You said, Nikki, she was born in 1974. She was born in the same era as disco. Not her acting like she isn't sharing the same time in this earth as Cher. Listen, Cher got herself a young bae too. Amber Rose's ex, her ex and her baby father, mom, you in these bags. And her baby father, it's Cher's fiance. And Cher is in love. Gone. Our girl is gone. Gone in the brain. My girls can't tell me nothing. I'm gone in the brain. Give me shelter. That Leah's husband was one of Jeffrey Epstein's attorneys. Yeah. I wouldn't bring her back either. I wouldn't bring her back. Yes. Listen, I love me some Cher. I had to unfollow. It was getting uncomfortable. And I'm like, listen, May December relationships. Listen, love is love. Love is love. But Cher, make sure your assets are protected. That's all I'm gonna say. Chaz, make sure your mama's assets are protected. Cause girl,
first rodeo, she know how to do it.
But mom, she's with somebody extremely young.
Yeah. Right? And again, this ain't her first rodeo.
Mom, but Cher is gone. Like she is in love. They're engaged. She's in love with this man.
She has been going with all of them.
All of who?
All these young.
She was only with Sonny.
Girl.
Who else was Cher with?
She was only with. Remember Dave Alderman? That she was with, and she got another son with. Oh shit! Oh Cher.
Who is Dave Alderman?
David Alderman. Her son's father. She has a son after Chaz. Or Chad, whatever his name is.
No, Chaz. It's Chaz. Chaz Bono. Hold on.
Was Chastity when I met her.
Mom, that's her dead name. See, this is why you get blocked. That's his dead name. Oh my God, you got me messing up. Get out of here. Cher. Now you got me looking after her men. Occupation, spouses, son. Oh, Greg Allman. That's it. She was with Sonny and then Greg. That's the only man that she was with.
That's the only one that she married. But she has a host of young men.
I don't know Cher to date no young men.
Because you probably wasn't born.
So be like that. No,
I know Cher to be with younger men.
Who?
All of them.
But mom, you don't have no names.
All she loved is kids out of daycare.
Oh, bye. See, this is how you get blocked. No. Bye.
Extra star family.
Bye.
If any of them my age.
No.
I'll get you the stats.
Bye.
Been round, been cute. I've been new.
Mom, you only knew about Greg.
Okay. Listen, I was around when the Sonny and Cher show.
This is why she gets blocked. I can't. I'm not bringing her back. This is why she gets blocked. Oh, I'm sorry, Chaz. Mom. Bye. Let me move on to Live at the Lockup. We were doing so great. Oh, gosh. She dated Tom Cruise. Now, Mom, you got people in here lying on Cher. Sebastian, are you sure? Oh, thank you.
Done dated everybody out. Yeah.
Mom, thank you, Sebastian, for the super chat.
She probably,
Mom, your children work in the industry. Be quiet.
Probably dated my ex-husband.
Enough.
Okay.
She's never coming back. She's blocked. Let's get into Monique and Derek. No, you know what? Do I want to start with them?
Yeah.
No, I'm not starting with Monique and Derek. I'm gonna wait for you to have something to do.
I'm doing it for me. I gotta be on the phone with her.
Yeah, because
But I'm gonna let her know. Been cute, been round, been in town. Hey.
Girl. Who should I'm gonna start with Eris and Cameron.
What an odd couple.
I think she's starting to wake up, though. I think Eris is starting to wake up from Cameron. I think she's starting to wake up from.
What a time to try to wake up after you done married somebody.
Well, on, everybody makes mistakes.
She can get it annulled though, but nothing.
Well, we don't know if they legally filed though. So she probably can.
No, even if she files, she can get it annulled. Because if it's under a year, you can get that annulled, honey.
Okay.
I should have done that.
You were in love, just like Aries.
I should have done that.
Oh my gosh. This
I
life.
gotta go in the other room because I gotta take a call from my daughter, but I'll be back, Star.
No, she will not. I don't know why I cannot find a picture of these two. I just never have their picture, and I don't know why I do that. Oh, wait, let me change it to this. Hold on. Eris and Cameron. Where are their pictures? No, we're just gonna have to go on without it. I don't know. For some reason, out of everybody's picture, I cannot load their picture. But let's start with them. So Eris in this episode of Love at the Lockup is starting to finally regret marrying Cameron. She's been very sick for the past 2 episodes. I hope it's not something else. I hope she's just sick because she was doing a lot of drinking and not sick because she's carrying a little Cameron, a littler Cameron. I hope it's not that. But she was really, really sick, and Cameron finally comes home. He's pissy drunk. She gets upset with him, tries to put him out of the room. He will not leave. He decides to sleep on the floor, and she gets upset, and now she's in her confessional regretting, being with him and not knowing that he was like this. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that he was like that, so why marry him? It's like this, you have to, I don't know. And this is why I'm not sure if, and this is no shade, but I have to be real. I'm not sure that Eris is raising her daughter. Right? And again, there's no shade. I feel like somebody else is taking care of her. Here is why. Eris has done a lot, right? And she's not in Florida, right? She's currently filming where Cameron is being paroled to, where are they at? Kansas, Chicago, Detroit, one of them. She's currently there, and her daughter pops in and out. So there's somebody watching her, and like to the point where they have been in her life where they're like, they know her school schedule and all kinds of things. So I'm not saying that she didn't raise her, but I feel like there are portions of this child's life where there's somebody else that is her primary caretaker. And I think because she probably had this help, I don't think that Eris, not saying she didn't consider her child, but I'm not sure that she thought of what kind of influence Cameron could have over her child's life, right? Because already making the decision to be with someone, like marry them and have them help you raise your child while they're incarcerated, not knowing them, seems a little dumb. I was trying to find something else to say, but it's like, it doesn't seem like a decision that somebody who is looking out for the well-being of their kid would make, right? It seems like a decision that somebody who has a safe space for their child to be if things don't go right. Because I feel like we've seen this a lot in Love After Lockup, especially with the women. The women have help. There's always like an auntie, a grandmom, somebody who has the kid for the majority of the time that they're filming. And I feel like they have that kid the majority of the time of their life, and it's not just filming, right? Because remember Destiny? We didn't know that Destiny had 20 kids. We only knew that when she said that she was pregnant with child number 32. And at where I was just like, you got 57 children? When? And she was just like, well, this child that I'm pregnant with, this is my 60th child. And I have several others, and they are with their parents or grandparents or aunties or uncles. So that's how these people who are on this show are able to do and film and go all these places and stay where the person has been paroled to and not with their kids because somebody is helping them out. Because I just feel like this decision that Eris made, I don't think a mom who is looking out for her and her child would make. And I could be wrong, but I'm like, if you really looked at the situation and was just like, I want this man to be in the same home with me and my young daughter, helping me raise her, I don't think she would make that if that was something that she did every day without a village to help her or take the child for a certain time so that she can be, let's be real, reckless, right? Because Cameron is pissy drunk. She's regretting this decision. And I'm like, you just married him fresh out of the halfway house. Like, this is your husband now, unless she didn't file the paperwork, file the marriage license. But I'm like, this is your husband now. And he's going to move down to Florida to be with you and your daughter. And this is a part of his life. Even his family said that this is how he is, right? He was pissy drunk in front of his family and nobody batted an eye because this is who he is. So, excuse me, you being upset, not knowing that this is this side of him, it's kind of confusing for me because I'm like, of course you don't know this side of him. You don't know this man. So that makes sense. So why are you mad now? Like, I don't know. Like, she was getting really frustrated and upset. And I'm like, you don't have to be in this situation. Like, you did not have to marry him right away. You could have been engaged with him and figured, and just saw where this went. You did not have to marry this man right away, but you did. And now you're starting to see who he really is and you don't like it. Now you're pushing this man out of bed, being physical with him, being physical with somebody who has, has been in prison for being violent. So I'm like, what is going to happen now, right? When you push him and he's not as drunk as he normally is. Like, come on. She just does not make the best decisions. And I'm like, I don't know. Same thing like with Gabby and Chris. If I'm going to enjoy watching this journey on Life After Lockup. Because I feel like with Monique and Derek, I know they're scamming, right? I know that this is all a setup. I know that these two were not together. I know they got back together because the show was just like, you're the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the franchise. Let's go. Let's make some money. So I'm going to be able to watch them and enjoy them. I'm already enjoying their antics on Instagram, right? I'm already enjoying Derek writing all these filthy messages to Monique in her Instagram comments and Monique replying, thank you, daddy. Like, I'm already enjoying the spectacle of this relationship because I know that this is a stunt. With Eris, it's not enjoyable to watch because I'm like, I feel like this is your real life. And I'm just so sad for you and your child. Let me move on to something even sadder. Skylar and Alabaster Ike Turner. Let's get into it. My only thing I want to say about this is that if anything happens to this woman, the show is absolutely responsible. If anything happens to Skylar, the show is absolutely responsible because something is happening here and it's just uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to watch these two interact because what Nathan describes that happened with him and Skylar is completely different than what Skylar told her mother, right? Nathan's just like, oh, we just had a disagreement. She did something to my phone. I did something to her phone. We're good. Skylar's breaking down crying with her mother. And then when he sees her, he goes through several personalities, right? When they finally get together and meet, he's angry. He's pissed off at her. He's like laying into her. Then he sees that it's not working. So then all of a sudden he becomes apologetic, but he's still like nasty, but apologetic. And then Skylar like starts to cry. And she's just like, I can't do this. This is not healthy. I'm going to go. She gets up and leave. He instantly changes. He's like, baby, come on. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry. What's going on? I'm like, what in the Lifetime movie mystery of the week is happening here? I feel like we have seen this storyline so many times, and it never benefits the woman. It never works out in the favor of the woman. And I'm like, this is not okay. This man has several, personalities, several switches, and he just snaps anytime. He's kicking a cameraman out of his car. He's cussing out Skylar, cussing her out in the restaurant, cussing out the guy she's talking to on the phone, screaming the N-word. He's just all over the place with these emotions. And you cannot tell me that this man, who is outwardly aggressive on camera, is not even worse when he knows he's not being watched. If anything happens to her, this show is completely responsible. I don't like it. I do not like it. When he switched up, when she decided to leave, it's like, Skylar, get out of that. Like, why are you with him? He ain't got no coin. No shade. I'm not saying that that's what men are for. But I'm like, I could understand if you keep on going back because of the coin. But like, he got you in this haunted doll horror house. He's treats you like crap. He got this raggedy truck. You live in a nice neighborhood. You got a nice little home. Your mom wants you safe and protected. You constantly are cutting yourself down or taking yourself down several notches to be with this man. For what? For what? And I also think that neither one of them are healthy for the other sobriety. Neither one of them are healthy for the other sobriety. I just feel like this couple together, I don't see how they can stay clean. Absolutely not. It's too many issues. It's too many triggers. It's not a good look. And I will say this. This is why you can never make a judgment on the felon partner on this show until you meet them. Because when we first, like this happens on Love After Lockup every season, when we first meet the person who is dating the person in prison, right? And you hear prison and you automatically think that this is the incarcerated person is the bad one, right? They're scamming, they did something horrible, they're on drugs, or all of these things, they're bad. Then they get out and we see how the free person treats the formerly incarcerated person, and then you're just like, oh, so the free one is the bad guy. It happens all the time on this show. And you think that you're going into watching something where the free person is getting scammed by the incarcerated person, because we know that they tell you what they need to tell you so you can send them money and so they can just pass the time, right? But then you realize the scammer is actually getting scammed. That leads me to Ashley and Travis. Travis, get out of this situation. You got scammed. Ashley was talking big when you were incarcerated. It seems like as soon as you got out of prison, everything fell apart with Ashley. And I feel like her life fell apart overnight. That's what she's telling you. I think that Ashley has been living like this for months. Probably kept the facade up on the show for as long as she could until she got evicted. I think she tried to make it about Travis, but I think Ashley wasn't paying that rent for a long time, because there's no way that you don't have nothing. She just lost everything. They live in a motel. She don't have no money to stay anywhere. She can't even buy this man. She can't even get this man money to buy his mama some candles. Nothing. And she's breaking down all the time. I feel like she knew that she was in this situation, but she probably committed to the show, so she had to stick with it, because as soon as we met Ashley, she was breaking down crying in her confessional. Remember that? And we was like, oh my goodness, what is she on? The coke is pure. We didn't know that she was probably crying because she was losing everything. So I feel like she was losing everything for a while. And by the time this show started filming, she ain't have nothing left. Because how in the hell, in one episode, you had all this stuff, and then we come back, and you're like, oh, we're in a motel. Not even a hotel. You're in a motel. A motel. How? You can't even spend $139 for a Hilton, queen bedroom for one night. You at a $60 Motel 6? Honey. Something up. Something thing is up. Travis, get out of the situation. Go live with your mama rent free in that little studio apartment that she built for you. Do that and let Ashley figure it out on her own. When that woman took off her shoes and threw them, I was like, the formerly incarcerated person is the sanest person in this relationship. She threw off them shoes, broke down crying, and just started walking. Travis is like, where you going? I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. Travis, go home to your mom. Leave that woman alone. You got scammed. You got scammed big time. You thought that you hooked a big fish and you thought you was going to be able to get out of prison and trick this woman. And my God, today she is tricking you. Wake up in this scam and go on to be with your mama. Let's jump into Justine and Michael. Listen, Justine's mother is nasty. She got a little attitude on her, a little Pennsylvania attitude, but she's right. Justine's mother is right. This couple, y'all are too old to be so reckless. Too old to be so reckless. Last, like 2 episodes ago, Justine finds out that she's pregnant. Literally, soon as this woman finds out she's pregnant, she quits her job. Justine was pregnant for 2 hours and quit her job. And she quits her job. She's like, I can't tell my mom. But she finally sits down and tells her mom that, you know, she's pregnant. And her mom, when she was walking her mom to the restaurant, her mom was like, you better not be telling me that you're pregnant. This better not be what this is, Justine. This better not be what it is. So Justine sits down and tells her mom that she's pregnant. Her mom is disappointed, right? She's just like, no, I love my grandkids. I wouldn't mind having another grandkid, but they don't need this right now. Michael comes and sits down with them, and the mom is like, she quit her job. She's pregnant. She quit her job. You don't have nothing going on. How are these bills being paid? He says, we're going to put it in God's hands. That woman got up. First of all, she had to digest what that man said to her, because her daughter just told her, I'm pregnant by this incarcerated man that I married in prison, who I have never lived with, don't know nothing about him. Soon as he gets out, the man has been in there for drugs or whatever. He buys me a car in prison. We don't know how he got this money. Soon as he gets out, I'm pregnant. I quit my job. And he says he's going to take care of everything. I quit my job because he don't want me to work. And he says to her mother, we're just going to put it in God's hands. She was about to eat that crab cake. He said that to her. She lost her whole appetite. She was like, okay. She got her purse, a little puffer coat, and she got out of there. And I was with her. Justine's mama is right. She walked out of there. She said, I'm taking care of Justine and her kids. I could have fell off my couch. She said, I'm the one taking care. I've been a baby father for all of them kids. And Justine, she said, that's my daughter, that's my grandkids. I will do anything. But Justine don't pick the right men. She picked these men that don't want to take care of her kids. And then she told me she got another one. So she's stressed out because she knows she got to financially put out money for another child. And when she talks to her daughter's husband, he doesn't tell her that he got no job, that he got a savings. He don't say nothing about money. He said, we're going to put it in God's hands. How dare you say that to that woman that has been taking care of your wife and all them kids while you've been in prison?
But that ain't his fault. She just became his wife now.
That's not his fault. But you do not tell your mother-in-law when she asks you, how are you going to financially provide for my daughter who you told to quit her job, and you say, put it in God's hands.
Yeah, now I agree with you on that.
He was dead wrong for that. I'm on Justine's mama's side. She's been here with Justine several times with all them kids. She's sick of them. She is sick of being on this roller coaster with Justine.
You having another baby?
She said, I'm 50. I don't want to keep on doing this. That poor lady. She said, I'm tired. She wants to retire at some point. And she's thinking about she got to do this for another 18 years because Justine is
cute and head in the sky.
Justine is just cute and light. in her bodysuit
Okay.
with her bundles.
Yes.
That's all. This is all Justine do.
Yeah.
I don't know how she got a job and how the manager was just like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "You want
Yeah,
Justine
what
to stay
kind
at
of
your
job
job?"
was that?
Angry Justine, who has a nasty attitude, because when Michael and her leave, they're in the car. He's talking about the situation. He's starting to feel bad because her mom is like disappointed. And he just married Justine. He wants to make a good impression. He already starting off wrong because he's a felon and he's a drug dealer. Or he's the former drug dealer who makes money rapping and selling shoes from AliExpress, right?
Girl.
The mother is already suspicious. So he feels bad. And Justine was just like, "You do not feel bad. If you felt bad, you would not have been having unprotected sex with me." And I'm like, "Why are you talking to your husband like this?" She just cussed that man out the whole ride. He then gives her the finger. Listen, I know he was frustrated. I don't think that was right. But he was like, "You see this?" And Justine was like, "Yes, I see it. You had it in my butt last night." That's how we got in this situation.
Not in this situation.
So he parks the car. He says, "You park your own car."
He
And then
the car.
he pulled the car up. He said, "You park your own car." So Justine is left in a car, by herself, cussing Michael out, and he's not there. And I'm just like, at some point, I don't know how Justine, maybe it's because she lived outside of Philly, but I just don't know how she has won her whole life with this nasty attitude and has yet to be humbled. Because the way she talks to people.
How did she get there? Because her mother don't live there. She must have followed another guy there.
You think so?
Yeah, because the storyline don't go. I'm trying to figure out, did she move there? Did she move there for him, or? But the mother said that they work together or whatever. So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how this storyline go together because the mother came in town.
True.
So
True.
Maybe she left and went with another
I don't
guy
know,
there.
but I just like Justine has a nasty attitude and a nasty mouth, and I'm just like, you haven't been in no fights. I just don't.
I'm sure
the way she talks to people that she loves is shocking. It's shocking to me that there's like no war wounds or nothing from being jumped. I just don't understand. It's
a story behind how she got to Johnstown, PA. But they haven't tapped into that because the mother, apparently, wherever she was at, she must have lived close to her mother or with her mother or whatever. So out here, maybe the youngest guy's father was out here or something.
Well, we haven't seen any of the kids' fathers. Now, either they're not around or they didn't want to film.
The oldest girl, she had her young.
Yeah.
So she's been taking care of these kids. So
she's been taking care of Justine's kids as long as she's been taking care of Justine. Okay. That woman is tired. When that man said put it in God's hands, she said absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. She got her purse and her puffer coat and she got out of there. Oh, she should have. First of all, she sat there stunned for a minute. Because how dare you? She has been financially taking care of this woman. Michael says, "Why? I paid this month's rent." He ain't said nothing about the last month's because mother paid for that. And then he says, "Oh, I'm not selling drugs or nothing like that." Michael and Justine, get off this show because how are you paying these bills? How are you getting cars?
No, he has money. No, he has.
Yes, Mom, but that's the thing.
He had money.
Yes, but that's the thing. The IRS is watching.
No, apparently this must be some clean money because he's able to talk about it because when she bought the car and checked out the car, everything was okay. So if he's buying her a car on TV, and they just got locked up.
But he could have bought the car. He could have bought the car in cash. Had the sister who was one of his kingpins, his drug ring, take care of that. He had several people working for him that was his family.
Well, what I believe is maybe he has some money that's legal from maybe the rapping, his rap career.
No, man, he started rapping while he was in prison. I don't think he was a rapper.
That guy that came to see him was his manager.
Before he got locked up. Really? He been locked up for a couple years.
And that was his manager. He been he trying to pick up this career after 6 years. That's what the young boy was telling him. Man, things to change. You know what to say.
He said, put it in God's hands. That lady said, She said, I want to go to my hotel. I'm done. And I'm with her. How dare you? I just paid the rent this month. Then pay her back for all the other months she was paying while that was your wife. He not saying nothing about that.
Let me just say this.
And what kind of job she got where she taking care of Justine and all them kids?
Well, she has a pretty good job, apparently.
She just needs to live her life.
Yeah,
Michael, you have to do something legit on this show so that it could make up for all of this money that you were using to pay for everything. We haven't seen you fill out a job.
He might have other business.
Mom, but we haven't seen him fill out a job application. We haven't seen him go to an interview. We haven't seen him do any kind of training.
He's self-made.
Okay. When he filed his taxes for this show, let's have a paper trail or something. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it would be better for this couple to live like they're impoverished on this show, but not really be like that instead of, quit your job. I'll take care of everything fresh out of prison with no job.
She went to pick him up in his car. Like he had things. He had his jewelry. So the feds didn't take everything. He had stuff.
This is the thing. They didn't take everything because they took what they knew.
No.
Okay. Mom, I've seen this happen. I've been reviewing these shows for a long time. I have seen this happen to a lot of reality stars.
When you buy a car, honey love, unless you buy it off the street. When you buy a car, all that paperwork goes to the government.
Mom, the way people fake
okay.
The way people fake documents, people know how to Photoshop, girl. People, the hood has learned how to Photoshop, girl.
Nikki,
wake it up,
Nikki.
Wake it up. Let's end with the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the franchise, Monique and Derek. So Monique meets Derek's family, his grandmom and his dad. Real talk. How many years apart is Derek and his dad?
No, Derek said his mother had him very young.
Oh, okay. So the father was young too.
Apparently.
Because when we saw the dad, I was just like, if the dad had some fronts, he would look a lot younger and not such a hard life. Because it was very obvious that the dad had a hard life. It was very, very obvious. But anyway, she goes to see where he's going to be staying because he's going to be staying with his grandmother and his father is there. The dad, gives him some wisdom, says, be with your woman. Don't worry about your siblings.
Yeah, the dad said, if she taking care of you, see how big she is.
Mom! Mom, be quiet. So anyway, he Mom. So Monique goes while she's there. She says, she meets him and everything or whatever. Monique does two things that I did not like. One, she brings up, this is her first time meeting Derek's father and his grandmother. She brings up the fact that she's feuding with Derek's siblings. I felt like it was not the place or the time to do that. This is your first time meeting his family. I get that you're being messy for the show. You know what, girl? Can you give me a water?
Oh, okay.
Because you heard me keep on coughing, but I don't.
You want a Perrier?
No, you want me to keep on choking?
Oh, Lord. What do you want?
Where the waters? I won't have a cold one? Because you have been drinking. No, you've been drinking the cold waters. Mom, put the rest of the waters in the fridge.
I'm not doing nothing. I just came from the doctor.
Not because I'm the only one.
I just came from the doctor.
I'm the only one that puts the waters in the fridge. Nobody else does.
Job for the day.
See what I'm saying? See how they treat me, Star family? Anyway.
Get the word.
I feel like this is your first time meeting his family. You do not need to be bringing that up, right? Especially when you're meeting the matriarch. First of all, did y'all hear when Derek was just like, this is my grandmother, the monarch of our family? I was like, matriarch, Derek. He said it so strong, the monarch of our family. But this is your first time meeting the matriarch of Derek's family, and you are starting off with some family mess.
But a lot of them don't have no teeth.
starting off with some family mess, and I just felt like it was inappropriate. And then you asked to use his grandmother's bathroom. She grants you that permission. You use that opportunity to then go in other parts of her home that she invited you into and start snooping and looking for a place to put a surveillance camera. Now, this was obviously set up, right? This is obviously a storyline, something that production told Monique to do because she really wasn't even into it. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, I can put something right here. And I can put a camera right here. And then Derek walks in on her and she's like, eh. He's like, what you doing? Why you in my room? I'm just looking just to see some things. Like, it was clearly storyline. It just was still disrespectful in my opinion. So I think
in reality, in a black great grandmother's house, that woman would have cussed her out for snooping in her house. What is you doing?
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
I've blocked you several times. Keep this block. like how Nene did. I'm gonna do you like this, girl. Thank you. I just thought it was disrespectful. I get the storyline. It just still wasn't a cute look. You gotta call that out. So I think this is now starting the storyline of Monique being insecure about Derek and not knowing if he's, being faithful to her. And then probably in Life After Lockup, we'll get introduced to the correctional officer that he had a relationship with that was sending him them twerking videos, one of the many women that he was cheating on her with. I think we'll probably go farther into that storyline in Life After Lockup. But Monique, we got to call out the mess. Even if it's fake forced mess, it was still not appropriate. I will say this show, and Monique called this out, as she should, because this show is playing on her weight and the size difference between Monique and Derek. And she said it before. She was just like, they're saying that I catfished him. I sent Derek full body pictures of myself when he was in prison. She's also saying that they put the camera lower in her car than they normally did in the beginning to make, her and Derek seem so enlarged. And I call that out. I was just like, normally the camera is up on the mirror. Why was the camera at the bottom and shooting up? And everybody knows that when you shoot the camera up a certain way, height is distorted. And I think that's what the show was playing on as well. I also felt like in this last scene, they were playing on their differences because Derek and Monique were trying to get intimate. And Derek kept on trying to climb on top of Monique. But because of the height difference, he could not get on her properly. He could not get his footing. So he kept on slipping and rolling off of Mom. He kept on slipping and rolling off of her and losing his grip and footing. And this show spent a good 3 minutes just filming this man trying to climb this woman. And I was just like, y'all are wrong. Love After Lockup. Y'all know what y'all are doing. And y'all, I'm telling you, do better. Do better in Life After Lockup, because this right here was unnecessary. Y'all did not need to show us this scene. And I feel like the only reason why y'all showed us this scene is because Derek kept on losing his footing. His feet was hanging off the bed. Monique was trying to secure him. It was a mess. It was a mess. Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. Anyway, what do you guys have to say about this? NTR, one of you guys sent me the live, and from what I could make out, it was all over the place. It was chaotic. I don't know what that sister was talking about. What I could make out was Derek's sister said that a lot of the show was fake. She questioned her brother's sexuality. She said that Derek is using Monique and that they are both in on it and that this isn't real. This is all for the show. She also said that Monique and her sister and her cousins jumped them. I don't know if we're going to see it this season or in Life After Lockup, but she was just like, people were coming at her for being a trans woman and making fatphobic comments about Monique. But she was just like, nobody saw the stuff that she was saying about me. And she was showing her Instagram and saying that Monique was saying transphobic things about her. I really can't verify her receipts just the way they look to me. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying that I just can't verify anything. But she was basically just saying that her family was filmed a certain way to favor Monique. And I will say, I do believe a portion of that, because whenever Derek's sister would call Derek, Monique would pick up the phone and they would just go back and forth. And then you will see Monique on her Instagram saying things as well. So Monique is not innocent. Monique is not innocent, but I do see the show favoring her and making her look like that. So
yeah, because that's
she's the star. She's Beyonce. They're gonna protect Beyonce at all costs. Miss Gigi88 said, "Y'all, I watched the first 48 after Nikki's last live, the one with how Derek's mom got shot. Lord, I have yet to watch that. I'm not in a place yet to consume that. I'm not. I am not." Robin says Derek's mom death was on an episode of the first 48. Yeah, I think we shared that last review. F said, Nikki, he said it's in God's hand. Forget the taxes. Child, she loved that boy. I don't know why. I do not know why. Some people said the rapping is for money laundering purposes. Child, the IRS is watching. Nayef said, I feel bad for her mom, talking about Justine's mom. She had to witness Justine through all of these past failed relationships. I will go crazy at this point. Yeah, she's tired. She's tired. She wants a break. She wants a break. Tracy says, shout out to the NikkiStar Replay Gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Thank you so much. I just saw this comment and I want to address it. This is about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Sorry, I got to go back, guys. Emma said, Jackie had wealth. She just didn't show it. That's the thing. And now she's a friend of. That's the thing. I think that Jackie was, hired for a lot of reasons, but I also think she was hired for her wealth. But Jackie is just not, she's not a flashy person like that. And that's the name of the game for this show. You have to be somebody for the housewives. You have to, that's your thing. You have to want to be over the top showing your wealth. And Jackie just does not want to do that for whatever reason. And that's her opinion, that's a prerogative. But I think, that gets you friend of the show. NTR said, I was writing for Monique until she bugged grandmom's house. Grandma was so sweet. Yeah, and that was disrespectful. That was disrespectful. I didn't like that. Naif said, OMG, yes, I hated that Monique brought that up. Like, girl, you're with his good side. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Naya said, I said it earlier. I can't believe Monique had the nerve to do that in his great-grandmother's house with pictures of their ancestors on the wall. It was just, you could tell that it was for storyline, but it was still just disrespectful. Listen, she the queen of the family, Ryan. This is the monarch of my family. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it was cute. It was cute.
In jail for 9 years.
It was cute. Miss T said the fight with Derek's sisters kept them on the show. Listen, Derek's sister in that live said that there was a whole scene where Monique and her sisters jumped them. And the cameras were there, and she was just like the producers, the cameraman, nobody helped. So I don't know if we're going to see it. I do not know if we're going to see it. They did not have to keep that in. They did not have to keep that in. I was just like, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know what he was losing his footing. He kept on sliding down Monique, and then he's trying to take off her top. Monique's titties is out here. Derek is sliding off the bed. His little feet are pushing on the bottom of the sheets to get back on her. I was like, y'all don't need to do this. Y'all know what y'all doing, and y'all are dead wrong. He was ready to take up for that salmon dinner. Straight sex after a salmon dinner. Oh my God. Miss Gigi88 said that intimate scene was so cringe and low-key funny. These camera people are going to hell. They are so messy. They did not have to do that. See what I mean? I felt bad too. I'm like, this is wrong. This is so wrong. Yes, he could not get on her. And he was getting frustrated. Oh, Lord. You know what? Probably some people, but I don't think that she has the wherewithal to even know that. I don't think she has the wherewithal to even. No! No! They cannot bring a child into that.
Who pregnant?
Skylar, allegedly, by Nathan. Child. No. I still got to do The Bachelor, but I'm going to be real quick with that. All Day Finesse said, Nikki, did you hear when Nathan and Skylar does when she asked Skylar when does she want to have his baby kids? I damn near jumped through the... No, I did not. Listen, this is the thing. I watched this show on DVR, so I think that they have gone back. See, I got to watch this live. I think they have gone back and removed a lot of his problematic stuff because the show released a statement apologizing for Nathan saying the N-word that episode.
Really?
Yes. And they have removed that, like a huge chunk of that scene where he actually said it. So when I watched it on DVR, I did not hear that. And I think that's probably because by the time it got to me, they had removed anything problematic that he said. Y'all want me to take The Bachelor out? Should I? We're over 2 hours. Okay, so this is what I'll do. Tomorrow, I already have tomorrow live set. I'll just do 2 because I'll do 2. Let me see. What are my notes for The Bachelor? This is going to be a 3-hour live. What do y'all think? Y'all want me to move The Bachelor to tomorrow? Or y'all want to stay? I'll probably be on here for another half an hour, so it'll be a 3-hour live. What do you say, replay gang? What do you say?
How long you gonna be?
Okay. I'm getting some yeses. Let's stay. Okay.
How long are you gonna be?
What do you mean? You don't even watch The Bachelor, Mom.
No, they got on my nerves. I'm not
because The Bachelor is corny. It's dry.
I'm not helping you with that.
It's dry. Okay. We'll do it. Drewski said, okay, yeah, let's do a 3-hour. Who knows what time you're right. Y'all not playing with me. Y'all not playing. Yeah, because Married at First Sight is tomorrow. I'm finally caught up. And I also want to talk about Ready to Love because I'm finally caught up. So yeah, let's just do The Bachelor now. Let's get into it. Let's get into Bree leaving. Let's get into Bree leaving. Because this is I have my own theory about this. So Brianna left, right? This was the episode before last. She left The Bachelor because she just felt like her and Zach were just not connecting. And, you know, she had her moment where she cried and she was just like, there's no connection there. And I just feel like, you know, I should just leave. And Zach's like, yeah, no, I understand. Like, there's just nothing there. So you should go. He doesn't walk her out. She gets up, goes to the other ladies, says bye, you know, they all cry and she leaves. And she's just like, you know, we weren't really connecting. And then I don't like what, you know, happened with me and that other girl, I forgot her name, with me and Christy. So I gotta go. I'm calling BS. I'm calling BS on Brianna leaving. Why am I calling BS? Because I think Brianna left to film her Bachelorette's season. That's what I think. I think this is our Bachelorette. Because it just did not make sense. I said, what? What's going on, Brie? What's going on? First of all, she went up to him. She had no emotion. She was just like, I don't know why me and you just aren't connecting. I don't understand, you know, so I'm going to go. Yeah. Man. And she just gets up and leaves. And I'm like, for her to be America's pick and her exit was so anticlimactic, I think she left to film her Bachelorette season. What do y'all think? I think this is the Bachelorette. And if this is the case, I'm here for it. I felt like she was taking her chances at being the Bachelorette. I feel like what's her name? Charity. I feel like Charity might take that crown because I don't think she's going to the end. I think she's going to the end, but I don't think she's winning. But I feel like this is our Bachelorette. Anyway, Christy gets cut right after Brianna leaves. And I was just like, that's so weird, right? Because Brianna basically says that she's also leaving because of Christy. I don't believe that. She wanted to go film her season. But Zach then goes to talk to Christy about like what's going on. And Christy like has like a meltdown or whatever. And then, Zach just decides at the rose ceremony that he's done with her. And so Christy leaves, right? And I'm like, why are we getting rid of a villain so early? I didn't know that they got rid of Christy, who became a villain overnight so quickly, because they had another villain brewing. There was another villain brewing. And I feel like this season is going to be so chaotic with the women because they know that Zach he just comes off very dry on camera, which is why I was so shocked when he was picked as the Bachelor, right? I was like, this is such a nepotism pick. I just don't see him being able to hold the lead of a show. However, with this formula, I think this makes sense if your Bachelor is a bit dry to give us something like this, because I feel like every episode we're going to have a new villain. Every episode we're going to have a new villain, because as soon as Christy leaves, Anastasia, she says, let's wake it up. Let's wake it up. Let me be the millennial Karen of the season since, everybody else, since we're losing our villain. So Anastasia, this episode, Kylie, who was having a moment with Zach, like her and Zach have been doing really, really well, right? Which surprised me, but Zach seems to be in it, okay? Into her. Hallelujah. Let me move on. So they've been vibing, right? So Kylie, and Zach have been vibing. So they have been meeting up or whatever, and it seems like something is really starting to happen with them. So Anastasia, Stassi, decides that she wants to, have some time with Zach because they seem to be, going the distance as well. And while she's meeting with Zach, Kylie comes over and she's like, hi, can I steal him? And Anastasia is like, babe, can you just wait? Because we're connecting. And Kylie's like, oh my goodness, Anastasia, I don't want to fight you. I don't want this to be a fight. I just want to talk to Zach. And Anastasia is just like, oh, wow, I don't feel safe. So she gets up and leaves and, she lets Kylie talk to Zach. And then she goes full Karen, right? She goes around telling everybody that Kylie wanted to fight her. And now she's afraid that Kylie's going to beat her up. And I'm like, you heifer. I cannot believe that. I can believe, but I'm like, I'm always so shocked when people do racism on camera. Because I'm like, why would you do? You're literally being filmed and you're mic'd up. And she's going around telling everybody that Kylie wanted to beat her up. The lie just continued to grow and grow when it got to a point that people were like, I don't think that happened. The girls were like, I do not think that Kylie wanted to beat you up. Anastasia, I don't think that happened. So I think because all the ladies were like, absolutely, that did not happen. And because I feel like a producer probably talked to Anastasia and was just like, this is not going to look good on camera. This is not going to look good when this makes it to air. You better fix it. Because as soon as they were at their group date cocktail party, she sits, as soon as she sees Kylie, she's like, I want to apologize because what you said was wrong. I misinterpreted your words. And Kylie was like, no, you said that I was going to beat you up. That was wrong. I don't like that, right? So Kylie, because she's upset that Anastasia said that she wanted to beat her up, she then goes and tells Zach that the ladies have been saying that she is here for Instagram followers, that Anastasia is here for Instagram followers or whatever. And Zach felt some sort of way about that, right? So when Zach goes and gets Anastasia to have a conversation, Kylie starts to feel bad because she's just like, oh, I didn't want that to happen. I just thought that he should know. No, you was being messy, right? You was being messy. You was being shady. You was getting back at Anastasia because she said something about you that was wrong. That was just, what she did was wrong. So you got her back. Own it. Own it. You matched her energy. You went right to hell with Anastasia and got her sent home because Zach then later decides that he just can't trust her. And he's just like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I feel like there's just too many things happening here. So I'm going to walk you out. So Anastasia, Zach walks Anastasia out and he doesn't say anything to the ladies. So all the ladies are watching Anastasia walk out and Anastasia looks back and goes, bye guys. And Kylie goes, oh my God. And she just starts breaking down and crying. And I'm like, well, what did you want to happen? Like this, you were getting your lick back and it worked. And so Kylie spends the whole episode now being upset because she feels like Zach is going to cut her too because he thinks that she's being messy. But Zach says in his confessional, he's just like, that was not the only thing that made me feel some sort of way about Anastasia because we just were not connecting. So we're not connecting. And then hearing that comment, it was too much for this little connection. So Kylie is in her head the whole episode thinking that Zach doesn't want anything to do with her. So before we get to the end, let's get to Charity. I want to talk about Charity because Charity came out of nowhere for me. And there is rumors that there's a Black woman that makes it all the way to the end, but she doesn't win. And I think it's Charity. I thought it was going to be Brianna, but I think it might be Charity. I don't think Kylie is going to go far because I think the producers want her for Paradise. Oh, they want her for Paradise. They don't want Christian Charity for Paradise. At least not in the beginning. You know what I mean? You need somebody who's gonna spice it up. And Kylie, she gonna spice it up in her Fashion Nova fits. So Charity, the reason why I think she's gonna make it to the end because Zach says something about her, and I was like, nah, that's too deep. That's too intimate for her not to make it far. He says Charity is a gem. And then he talks about how he likes spending time with her and how he likes kissing her. And they had like several moments throughout this episode. And I was like, oh, you're probably either going to get cut right before Fantasy Suites or after the Fantasy Suites. So, Brianna, if you're not filming your season, you may have some competition in Christy. Oh, Charity. I don't know why I keep on calling her Christy. You might have some competition in Charity. Because I didn't check Bachelor data, but I felt like she got a lot of screen time. And I think she got them Instagram followers up. I really, really do. So let's talk about Instagram followers again. Let's talk about this. I don't have a problem with these people coming on the show, trying to become influencers and building their brand off of this show. I don't think that Anastasia saying, oh, even if we get cut, we're all going to leave with at least an additional 50K followers. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that because at this point, everybody on this show is coming to get a bag. Nobody's coming for a husband or a wife. Absolutely nobody. Unless there's going to be a Bachelor or Bachelorette Mormon edition, ain't nobody getting married on this show. It's not happening. It's not happening. These young people are coming on this show because they want to have jobs as influencers. You are not going to pull these people from being a cashier, a bag boy at the local ShopRite, Acme, if it's still open, Rouse, Vons, maybe even a Publix, right? You're not going to pull them from obscurity, put them on this platform, and think that they are not going to hustle to leave that show with at least 100K in Instagram followers. Why? Because the more people that follow you, the more money you make off of brands that send you teeth whiteners, knives, makeup, bags. They have you sit in the third row of Fashion Week. This is a cush life with a lot more money than they had when they were working at the Gap. Of course, they're coming to secure the bag. And what is wrong with that? I really hope they abandon this. Oh, you're coming here for fame. Y'all just doing this for love. Get the hell out of here. If you're doing it for love, then get rid of the cameras. Get rid of the cameras. Everybody is on this show for fame. Everybody is on this show for Instagram followers. Everybody is on this show to get an influencer bag. Let's stop lying. Zach, he's going to be selling beard lotion and, chest hair cream right as soon as his season wraps up. He keeps on showing that hairy chest because he's probably going to have a beard and chest hair deal with some new company that's coming out, and you're going to see him taking out the bomb and putting it on his chest and on that beard that just can't quite get together and talk about, I had no beard when I started The Bachelor. Look at me now. I'm a regular Paul Bunyan. 100K right there. Of course, these people are doing this. What is the problem? You're not here to find love. Of course not. She's 19. She's not a Mormon. Like, what? It's not a cult. Of course, she's not here to find a husband. Of course, the guy that made out with 32 women and banged half of them when the cameras were looking away, of course, he's not looking for a wife. It makes absolutely no sense where the formula is you have sex with 4 people and then after you done banged all 4 of them, decide which one you want to be inside for the rest of your life. Get the hell out of here. Nobody's getting married on this show anymore. Let that go. Everybody's coming here to be an influencer. Let's be real. Let's be real. Anastasia should not have went home over that. Now, if Zach is not connecting with her, good. But we're not going to act like this girl talking about getting more Instagram followers or telling everybody else that they're like what they can do to get more Instagram followers when this being her job is a bad thing. Y'all all there for the same thing. Nobody is better. Let's stop that. She shouldn't have went home for that. She should have went home for being a millennial Karen. Or is she a Gen Z? How old is she? How old is she? Is this Gen Z? Whatever she is, she was dead wrong. She should have went home for that. Not for that influencer crap. Anyway, let's talk about Brooklyn. Listen, everybody was praising her for sharing her story. I love that she shared that journey because this is something that happens to a lot of people, especially women, especially young women. She shared her that her boyfriend, her ex of 6 years, abused her. It started mentally, then verbally, then it got physical. And she actually thought that she was not going to survive that relationship. And while she was sharing this, my chest was tight, right? Here is why. And this could just because I watch far too much ID channel, right? I watch far too much First 38. Also because I'm a woman, right? You know what I mean? Like when a man can just walk to his car, a woman got to walk to her car with her keys through her knuckles, looking over her shoulder. We got to get in the car. As soon as we get in the car, we're locking the door, right? Before we even get in the car, we're looking to see who's in the back seat. You know what I mean? Like we have to do so much because it's just so dangerous being a woman in this world, right? Especially when you are a woman who interacts or are in relations with straight men. Now, my chest became tight when she was talking about this because I'm just like, is she in a safe space? And will she be in a safe space when this show is over after revealing what this man did to her? Right? I just feel like this segment of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette where a person is encouraged to share their trauma, I feel like we need to do away with this because we knew that it was coming. We saw it's the same setup. It's the same, it happens the same way every time. It's a trauma dump. It's the trauma dump scene. And I was just like, I don't know if she will be okay after sharing something like that, right? Because if this man almost ended her life and he's free or still walking on or still breathing on this earth, is this show going to protect her after? I don't know. I just feel like I just think looking outside, looking at it, not as a fan, right? Looking at it as somebody who has worked in production, as somebody who has worked for insurance companies, for entertainment companies and entertainers, this just seems very risky. This trauma, dump scene just always seems very risky because I'm always like the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, they are an episode away before going full Jenny Jones. And you know what Jenny Jones episode I am talking about. You cannot predict how people are going to react or how people who are the ones that people are trauma dumping about are going to react to hearing this person say that they did something to them to millions of people. We don't know what those, like, the show doesn't know what those reactions are going to be. And you have to be very careful about what you are encouraging these young people. And I say that because that is something that can hold up in a court of law. You can be like, I was young, I was manipulated by this producer to share this. I did not feel comfortable. They made me share it, and I put my life at risk again. My chest was tight. I was just like, I don't know if this was a smart thing to do. Now, if this was Brooklyn's decision, if she was not encouraged to say this, and if this is what she came on the show with and said, I wanted to talk about it, fine. But if she was encouraged to talk about something she was not comfortable talking about, I don't know. I just, tricky. I hope she's safe because I'm just like, where's this dude at that did this to her, that is watching it? His family is watching it. His community is watching it. Them abusers, not well. Are we putting this woman in more danger? We don't need to go so low, or you don't need to do everything to get a scene. You're already doing good in the ratings. You don't, certain stuff you can just walk on by. Walk on by. Last thing I want to talk about, the budget. We are really early in the season. We've already had an international trip, and the next episode is in London. Okay, Coin. We better have this same budget for Brianna's Bachelorette season. I know that's right. That's all I wanted to say. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Illowitz TV says they didn't show enough of Brianna's personality during the season for her to be the Bachelorette. You think? But remember Clayton? We were just like, the only reason why we knew Clayton was a Bachelor was because we saw him filming and TMZ released it. So then all of a sudden, Clayton was in all of these scenes that he wasn't in before. Because everybody was just like, who the hell is this? He's the Bachelor? Who is this? So the show had to go back and like re-edit episodes that were already ready to go and give us more of Clayton to show us that he had some kind of relationship with the Bachelorette to make us fall for him. And then they started all of those commercials, like making us, like trying to get the fan base on their side. And then they started doing the photo shoots of him with dogs. Remember that? Out of nowhere, Clayton was surrounded by dogs, and then he was surrounded by kids. Crazy. It was crazy. Then we got that scene of him crying, saying that he remember when I was reviewing that season, and I said this scene was filmed after. This scene was filmed after that scene where Clayton was with them kids and he was crying about wanting to be a dad, and the kids were telling him that he was going to be a great dad. I was like, ain't no way. They filmed this after fan backlash. That scene was not filmed during the Bachelorette season. Absolutely not. So that could be it too. But it just seems very, very weird that she left like that. If not, she's going to paradise with everybody else. Christy is absolutely going to paradise. Anastasia is absolutely going to paradise. Shellfish Girl, absolutely going to paradise along with Kylie. Kylie won't get cut anytime soon, but I don't think she's making it to the end. But I do feel like everybody that left this episode is absolutely going to paradise. Aside from Brianna. I think she might be a bachelorette. If it's not her, it's Charity. Ryan said, I want it to be, but I think they might be going white again. You think so? You think so? She has sister locks. And I'm telling you, I've been debating that for a while now. I've been debating getting sister locks. Because you can do so much. Naya said, I hope she's our next bachelorette. There's too much that was already lined up for her. That's what I'm getting. That I felt like they picked her when they said that she was America's choice. I felt like she was the producer's choice. If it's not her, it's Charity. If it's not her, it's Charity. I absolutely think that Zach is picking Ariel. I absolutely think that he's picking her. I think that it's Zach at the end of this is going to be, crying on one knee, asking Ariel to be his, wife. She's absolutely going to say yes. Then within 6 months, they'll be on the cover of People magazine talking about how they're better off as friends. Get your bag, Ariel. Get your bag. Let me get a couple more comments and then let's get out of here. Hey, Megan. Megan said, I listened to Charity on Becca and Michelle's podcast, and all I have to say is if this show doesn't make her the bachelorette, assuming she doesn't win, they will be missing out. Oh, he's not picking her. He's not picking her. Because I'm telling you this right now, if Zach picked her as, if he proposed to her, the show would have been making a big deal about it. Not that they would have told us what was going to happen at the end, but they would have had Jesse in the beginning of every episode. This has never happened on The Bachelor before. This season, this is new and unprecedented territory for The Bachelor. You guys have to keep watching. But I'm telling you, when we get to the end, America and the world will be shocked. Never in the history of The Bachelor has this happened. They will be sending all kinds of press stuff to gossip magazines, talking about how The Bachelor has changed history. Oh, all of this stuff. I don't think he's picking her. Simply Simone said, I'm not getting my hopes up about Bree when we said the same thing about Susie. True. Miss GG88 said, Charity also always reminds me of that girl that Tyra Banks yelled at a top model. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Look it up. The resemblance is uncanny. Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Are you kidding me? That moment is iconic. Bettina said, nah, wishful thinking. Too early for Bree to be filming The Bachelorette, but her setting off that truth bomb about Christina on behalf of Charity equals sisterhood and secure Bachelor in Paradise. She left before Zach could cut her. That could be it too. Sarah says, Zach is really going to give me Sean Lowe and not in a great way. Oh, they're absolutely making him the next Sean Lowe. Every episode, he's calling Sean Lowe for help. Why? Why? A very bland, somewhat decent dude that is really boring to watch without girls. Let me tell you something. I've never seen Nick Bow. I've never seen his season. Never, ever seen his season. But I think one of you sent me a clip of him saying that they got Zach. They made Zach the Bachelor because they were trying to make another Nick, like another him. He was like, they're trying to recreate me. I'm like, I don't know anything about this guy, but from what you guys send me, I love how much he loves himself openly. He openly loves the hell out of himself. You cannot tell him that he ain't a baddie. Oh my goodness. Bettina said, I think that Charity is going to be the token BIPOC taken to the final 4 to 6. Takes to the final 4 or 6 where she would have a chance at possibly being the Bachelorette, but Brianna blew it. She producers got in her head with imposter syndrome. Oh, Brianna would have been a perfect Bachelorette. They could be filming her season, guys. Ryan said Kylie was getting on my nerves. Like, girl, yeah, she got in her head real quick. NTR said Kylie could not get a tear to fall. She needs better acting classes. Say hey, Zoe said, I'm loving this live, Nikki. Thank you for being here, Zoe. This is Zoe. Irene said, I'm guessing Charity will be top 4. I think so too. But I think he's picking Ariel. Ryan said, I really hope she's a Bachelorette. She would be sweet and fun to watch. She would be. Her, Brianna. Caitlin said, Bachelorette starts filming in mid-March, right after the Bachelor finale. Ooh. So, Brianna, are you just going to paradise? Hot 1991 said, I like Charity, and I felt like Zach really trusts her. The fact that he asked Kylie if Charity heard that rumor. Oh, true. Because when Kylie said that Charity told him, he was like, all right, she got to go. That's very true. NTR, you're right. Talk about Anastasia. It's also her job. Why would she discuss it with the girls? True. Naya said, exactly. If I'm taking time out of my life, I might as well secure a check somehow. Absolutely. It's not right. Like, everybody's coming here to secure a bag. They need to stop. Irene said, at this point, who hasn't gone on the show for followers? I ain't mad at it. Yes. Especially if your life changes overnight. Why wouldn't you? NTR said, Zach is going to have a soap deal because what is he rubbing on his body? Just water? He absolutely is going to have it. Oh, Anastasia is 30. Okay, she's Gen Z. She's a millennial. She's absolutely millennial Karen. Drewski said, Trista said it herself, this show stopped being about love a while ago, and people mostly go on for easy fame and deals. Yep. Caitlin said, regardless of the drama, I still think Anastasia would have been sent home because what screen time has she had besides last night? Very true. Lisa said, this show protects someone? Hell no. But they'll be hella quick to dedicate that stupid Bachelor rules. Oh my gosh. To her memory and send some pittance money to a woman's shelter. Oh, I hate that I can actually see that happening. I was just like, girl, are you in a safe space to say this? Where is that guy? I was just like thinking about all of this stuff. Like, is this a safe story to share? Exactly, Ryan. That's what I was thinking. Does the guy have access to her or her family? Like, these men are crazy. Gossip and Grigio said, inside forever, Nikki. Please, you are on a roll. How dare you? I thought you was coming to give me a rose. Irene said, Nikki, did you hear about Greer? She's on Zach's season, Racist Past. This show, they don't do that background check. It's constant. I expect it every season at this point. Caitlin said, also congrats on 15K. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you. Let's talk about it, Caitlin. Caitlin said, Eric, Gabby's ex-fiance, has a new girlfriend, a very popular Instagram model. Let's talk about it. Because this is the thing. Y'all were dragging me when I was just like, I do not think he's into Gabby like Gabby is into him, right? Eric, yesterday, hard launches his girlfriend. Eric, who was just engaged to Gabby not too long ago, got a whole girlfriend. Eric, who wasn't comfortable dating yet, he was still healing, got a whole girlfriend. Get out of here. He was scamming from jump. I knew it. So who posted this? Because I was on Instagram like, this is not him. This cannot be the same guy. Let me check my responses. Whose page was I on? Bachelor Nation Scoop. Eric. Him and his Valentine. I said, is that Gabby's ex-fiance? He probably been dating her. Simply Simone said, God forbid something happens to her, but if something does, the whole franchise is done. Absolutely. Jenny Jones. Last time I saw her, she was on YouTube baking bread. Baby. I was just like, Brooklyn, thank you for sharing. Is this a safe space? Is this a safe space? Girl. Make sure you and your family are protected. Whew. Susan said, who do you think the front runners are? I think Charity would be the next Bachelorette. Charity, here are my front runners. Charity, Ariel is going to win. Ariel is going to win. Brooklyn, I think that they're going to take her far because Brooklyn is vulnerable. She opened up and shared something very deep and very intimate. It would be heartless for Zach to send her home right away after that. I can't really see anybody else right now, but those are my three that I think are making it, and Ariel's absolutely taking it home because Ariel's screen time is going to increase as the episodes go on. But I'm seeing something very natural. I don't think that they're getting married, but I think that he is naturally attracted to her. So I think he's probably going to pick her. Irene said, I'm only watching this season for the sisters because this season is and Zach is boring. They don't for their men, they don't like their men to be interesting. Have you guys noticed that? They don't pick interesting men. No shade, but you know what I mean? I feel like the women have to be so great. The bachelorettes have to be everything. The men just have to have a working penis. And TR said, Zach kept saying he doesn't want someone who changes up at the end because they are not here for love, just like he did on The Bachelorette. Ciao. Rachel need to pop up and be like, oh, you looking for a wife? Really? Irene said, yeah, I doubt that he chose Charity. Yeah, he's not picking her. I'm telling you, if he did, this show would have milked it. They would have, you have to watch this. This is a season you can't miss. All of this stuff. We would have had a Black History Month episode. You know, it would have been so much. Because what they want to do is show you that we've always been ahead of the curve. And boy, bye. Bettina said, Clayton says Katie were leads despite finishing in the top 8 to 10 rage over BIPOCs because they are Caucasian. Too many people are left for Brianna to get the lead. Christina has a better chance than her as Emily Maynard 2.0. You're right. But I feel like if it's not her, it's going to be Charity or somebody we were not expecting from older seasons. Let me get two more and then we'll get out of here. Bettina said, not gonna lie, Nick was the last entertaining bachelor and could hold a conversation. He seems like it. The bar is low. He gave an entertaining season. You should watch Rachel Lindsay got the first impression. I think I will. I hope she does. I want better for her. But I felt like he wasn't into her from jump. I just knew it. I knew it all the time. What happened? There it is. Sarah said, I bachelorettes stay getting played and scammed all the time because the women fall in love. Like they fall so hard. The men are always there to secure the bag, but the women, oh my goodness, they are just ready to have his babies. And I'm like, slow down. You should be securing the bag too. Tasha's the only one that took my advice. Good for her. Good for her. You don't remember what happened with Jenny Jones? Let's talk about it before I get out of here. Jenny Jones, she had an episode where her guests, she had guests who was surprising their crushes and letting their crush know that they have a crush on them and want to pursue a relationship. So she had several straight couples on there and they all went well. You know, women are saying they have crushes on a guy, guys are saying they have crushes on women. And it's like, okay, yeah, let's figure it out. Then she has this guy come on the show and say that he has a crush on his neighbor. But this is the thing, the crush doesn't know what they're on the show for, or they think they're on the show for something else. So I think this guy thought that he was here to talk about something, and he didn't know that his gay neighbor had a crush on him. So when he walks out, he sees his neighbor and he's just like, hey, how are you? What you do? What are you doing here? And his neighbor's like, oh, I had a crush on you. And that's what this show was for. I would like to, be in a relationship with you, or, start dating you and see how this goes. And he's like, well, I'm straight, so we could still be friends. And they're like, cool or whatever, right? Everything seems chill. The guy goes home, and within a matter of weeks, right? He goes over to his neighbor's house, the gay guy that had a crush on him, and he shoots him dead because he was embarrassed and he got so much backlash from the show. There were people in his life saying that he was gay because how could a gay man be attracted to him? And they were saying that they didn't like how he had to be gay because he didn't beat the guy up because he was attracted to him. So it was like all of these things that made him feel like the only thing that he could do was to kill that man for humiliating him. And right after that, the Jenny Jones show was canceled because, everybody was just like, first of all, you put the gay man in a really unsafe space, right? And then you also brought this man in unknowingly, like he had no idea what this was. And these two men left and their world changed. And now one is dead and one is in prison for the rest of his life. And the Jenny Jones show could not go on after that. And so I always say that about these shows. I'm just like, y'all are doing a lot for views, but realize you are playing with people's real lives. So be careful. Be careful. That's why my chest was tight when Brooklyn was telling that story, because she didn't let us know where that guy is today. And I was nervous and scared for her and her family. So he got out of prison on parole back in 2021. I remember him going, I think they retried that case or something. Sierra said, remember what happened with Megan Once a Millionaire and it made VH1 change all their programming? I do not know what happened with that, but I know you're probably going to tell me. But do y'all remember the challenge, why they changed the challenge and started allowing other people to come into the show? Because I forget her name. She was the white girl with the curly hair. I can't believe that Johnny Bananas is still allowed to be on the show. It was Johnny and two other guys sexually assaulted her with a toothbrush when she was asleep. And they changed the challenge changed ever since after that. That's why they were opening it up to everybody. It wasn't that they didn't have any more people to use. It was because after that, they couldn't pull from that pool because everybody was just like, oh, this show is toxic. And the challenge actually went away for some years and then came back after that. I couldn't believe it came back, and I couldn't believe Bananas came back, and he's like a star now again on the challenge. Ciao. But what happened with Megan Once a Millionaire? Absolutely give me shelter, because it wasn't just Jenny Jones. Everybody was doing it. Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Maury Povich. Who's the other one? Holly Jesse Raphael, Phil Donahue. Oh, they all were doing that stuff. No, Lisa, I do remember Gay Panic Defense. I remember that, but I thought that he went to prison. He's out of prison. Okay, he did go, but he's out of prison. Yep. Ryan said To Catch a Cheater got canceled because someone stabbed the host. Didn't he die? I think the host died, and they brought the show back. You know what? Just a mess. Just a mess. Megan Wants a Millionaire. One of the finalists went on a rampage and killed. Oh, yes. Yes. He put her in. I remember that because I watched it on, I think it was the first 48. He killed her in Vegas, put her body in a suitcase and dumped her body. And her and the guy were on the show. Child, see what I'm saying? Y'all playing with these reality people, but y'all don't know what these people's lives are, what they going home to. Y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful. Oh, really? Yes. No. Let me clear this up. It wasn't him. It was the group it was him and 3 other guys. They were all in this group and they were like bullies. They like terrorized people on the show. Bananas came back because he wasn't the one who used the toothbrush who assaulted her with the toothbrush, but he was they were all a part of that group. It was I can't remember. Let me just look this up so I could clear this up, but I don't know. What is the girl's name? Y'all remember the girl, guys? What is her name? She had the curly blonde hair. And they tried to say that it was okay, that it wasn't that big of a deal because she was drunk. Because the girl had a drinking problem. So they tried to make that excuse that because she was drunk, she don't really know what happened. Yes, her name was Cooley. Yes, here we go. I got it. Tanya Cooley. What is her name? In the summer of 2017, a rumored sexual assault on the set of no. Hold on. Let me just bring up In October 2011, Cooley filed charges that she was raped with a toothbrush by 2 of her fellow cast members from the challenge, Kenny Santucci and Evan Starkman, while passed out during the production of the Challenge Ruins edition of the show. The case was settled out of court on October 24th, 2012. The details of the settlement have not been made public. Santucci and Starkman have not made any subsequent appearances on the challenge since their appearance on the 2011 rival season. The challenge production company, Woodham and Murray, denied the allegations, saying that after a thorough investigation, we found Tanya Cooley's claims to be completely baseless. Let me tell y'all something. I watched that episode. Tanya was drunk. She could not even stand up. Out of her mind, she was just drunk and fighting people. She was a mess, right? But let me tell you something. That woman's story never changed. When she finally came to, she was beating the brakes off them boys. She was like, I remember what you did to me. And all the guys were laughing. I'm getting upset. I could not believe they filmed that. I could not believe they filmed that. But she was enraged. This live is going somewhere else. I'm getting upset. Let me just go. Whoo, child. It was that whole group, all of them, wrong. Yes, Coral's partner. Yep. I couldn't believe it. Like, guys, I'm telling you, Tanya was screaming. Well, I don't think we'll ever be able to find the episode, but she was beating all of them and they were laughing at her. And she was just telling everybody what they did to her, and everybody was laughing. Whoo! Child. That was sick. Me too. I hope she's doing well. I'll never forget her screams. I will never forget. I mean, listen, I don't know what happened, right? But I will never forget her reaction when she came to and she realized what happened, what she said happened to her. Like the way she screamed, the way she was fighting everybody. And I was like, this is not something happened. And the men were just laughing at her. Everybody was laughing at this woman. And she's screaming and raging and saying, they raped me. And they're all like these grown adults is laughing at this woman. Child, it wasn't bananas, but if you watch the challenge, it was a whole group of them boys that was all their characters were bullies of the show. Not bullies, but they were, those weird frat boy kind of guys, and they all picked on Tanya because she had a drinking problem, and she was just an easy target. I apologize for anybody who was tuning in. I apologize. Yeah, the case was settled out of court in 2012, and Boone and Marietta did an investigation, and they found that there was no evidence that her comments were that her allegations were baseless. All I'm saying is that I remember watching that episode, and I can still feel it just thinking about how she reacted. I will never forget that woman's reaction. Never. And you'll never be able to find it. They took that episode is not in the archives. You can't find that thing. You cannot find that episode. I hate to end with that. I don't even know how we got there. Oh, we were talking about Brooklyn. We got the Jenny Jones girl. But yeah, my thing was, I just hope that Brooklyn is in a safe space to share something like that. Because that was very concerning. Very, very concerning, because you can't control how people react to what is shared on TV. That's why you always have to be very careful. And that's why I'm like, I'm fine with reality people coming on this show and lying. I'm fine. If you're going to at least just have a good storyline. If it's not real, let it be good. I'd rather you say something fake than you're talking about what's really happening in your life, and then people who didn't sign up for the show have a negative reaction towards that, and your whole world just blows up. I'm fine. You never know. You never know. Child, I'm so sorry, y'all. I did not mean for it to end like this. But I gotta go. Yikes. I'm gonna put timestamps in here. Yeah. So sorry. I put a trigger warning at some point. I gotta be more careful about those things. I just went off on a tangent and I apologize. But thank you all for joining me. I'll hop on here tomorrow. Not sure what time. We will see. Just watch the channel. Watch my Instagram. My Instagram is NikkiNicoleStar. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye. Praise up for Brooklyn and Tanya. Bye. Whew, Lord.